the stream. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Okay.
How's it look?
Trying to see. There's a delay on my end of things too, so I'm
Oh,
seeing.
live now, it says.
All right. Yep, it seems to be working. I am streaming live. And now, this is a obvious question. How do I share this stupid thing? Like, what do I send to people to let them know that we are live?
Okay, well, you should just be able to link your gaming channel link. Let me see here.
Hold on a
I
second.
feel like
Actually, I'm gonna turn down the light ever so slightly because I am bright as hell.
Yay, Irish people. And or like Norse slash Scottish slash, European white folk.
I did not hear a damn thing you just said because my headphones weren't on.
Uh, okay, let me see. Um, you should be able to just link the actual like video link. I don't know what it looks like on your end because I've never been like the streamer. So I don't know. You you could at least just send out a tweet or something that says, "Hey y'all,
Yeah,
live now."
that is my plan.
Um, I do know that your actual channel will say, like, if you just like link your normal channel page, the front page should say that you're live and sort of like be the top video or the current video or something. But there's got to be like a better way to share. I don't know. Also, this like doesn't look like it used to look. They changed it. I also haven't I haven't streamed on YouTube since Dan was doing it.
Yeah, honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that I don't think I'd be able to bring people with me to Twitch.
Oh yeah. It's that was definitely a large part of the debate of like should we move to Twitch or should we stay on YouTube because that's where his audience was. And I don't know, Twitch just sort of went out because it had a little bit better like chat moderation controls. They're not amazing, but they were a little bit better. And I don't know, he just sort of like took a leap and a good amount of people came with, and then hey, it worked out.
Meanwhile, hi to the 5 people who have joined us. You get to see the behind the scenes as we're trying to get this shit set up.
Yay! Oh, I also think that maybe are you not, is there like a different, maybe there's like two ways to stream. Maybe you're streaming right now through like normal, just like live chit chat video, and then there might also be like a gaming, the gaming thingy.
Dunno, but I've got.
Hey, it works. It
It works.
works. All right, you. What have you gotten me? What have you wrangled me into? for this. I just googled it like a little earlier today. I was gonna come in totally blind, but I was like, nah, I should at least know like what it is. I figured it was some kind of dating sim. Um, I was just very much baffled by what I did find. So you
As
were just
most
gonna have
right
to.
thinking people are going to be. So, yeah, this, for those of you who either missed the previous live stream or who were lucky enough not to have seen the whole the whole fiasco that was the game when it launched, this is purporting to be a how to date. These are lessons from a game from a known pickup artist about here's how you date someone, here's how you pick people up, here's how you go through various scenarios and the right things to do and the wrong things to do. And it
Oh
is as
God.
much of a burning trash fire as you might fucking imagine.
Oh my God. Uh, all right. This will be amusing. So it's like it's like live though, right? Like
It is live
they like
action. It is like a
they
90s video
filmed it.
game.
Could you imagine that posting in like backstage where they were like, yeah, we need like 5 women to play like the on this live video game. This guy's gonna try to date you, and then being the chick who's like, oh, is this the scene where he tries to grab my ass and I tried to break his arm? Great. I'm that girl. Cool.
Well, as
For
it turns out, according to the behind the scenes stuff, because we've actually got behind the scenes for this, this is actually a lot of his friends. Go figure. One of whom is, in fact, I believe, his wife.
Oh, geez. Oh, so
If
he landed a spouse with
Yeah, well, one of the
his
things that
dating
people he will
abilities.
tell you is like, oh, look at all, I was so successful and whatnot. He's also the guy that said I can't date in the UK anymore because because British women are all fat and ugly feminists. He said this, and even Piers Morgan of all people was called him out as being an asshole.
Oh my God.
That
Really?
takes
Okay.
some doing.
If Piers Morgan calls you out and or calls you an asshole, I feel like you're doing probably everything wrong in your life.
Yeah, that's generally a sign. That's like the Joker going like, "My God, you're the worst person I've ever heard of."
Like there's a difference between Piers Morgan being like, I hate this person. They're so stuck up and like obviously like just trashing on people that he doesn't like, but when he's legitimately like, you're kind of a dick, aren't you? Aren't you like kind of a dick? Like I feel like you have somehow failed along the way.
Yeah, congratulations. Now you've given me this mental image of Piers Morgan looking wearing the Green Arrow hood, going, "You have failed this country."
Oh God.
So yeah, that's gonna haunt my nightmares for a while. So I hope the rest of you have to suffer with this too. All right, we've got a
Oh,
few people joining
so
in,
funny.
so let's give it a couple more minutes for folks to get going. Pardon me while I adjust the mic, make sure everything is pointed at me. This is a new setup. Fortunately, we solved most of the sound issues, guys. Sing out if you're having any problems, and I will pretend like I know what the fuck I'm doing, and then we'll get started. Also, if you're digging this, please send out the link. Let people know that it's happening. The more, the merrier. We'll try to get to all the comments and whatnot as it's going. And who knows, if we really start to like bleed from the eyes, maybe we'll just start taking questions and doing an AMA or some shit. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, like that'll work. That'll work fine.
Oh damn, we got folding ideas. We got Dan Olson in the chat.
What? Oh man. Oh, it's Foldy even. I forgot his icon was still Foldy. Um this is you should feel quite honored. because he never watches anyone else's streams. He's just like totally, but that's not true. That's not true. He like is usually just on them. Like he usually just gets the invite.
Yeah.
So to be relegated to just the chat box. This is my revenge. This is my
Yeah, at some point we're gonna have to talk Ready Player One, but
this is my revenge on Dan for constantly cheating on me behind my back with other streamers and not ever telling me about it. I had to find out third hand from his audience.
all right, so we got people, we got audio, we got questions coming in. So let's get this party started. God help us all. To add to the fun, I should point out that Richard LaRuina is starring in this as himself. So we have the added bonus of watching him act through all of this.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
Wait, he's like the main dude, or is it he's like instructing the dude?
He is the main dude. He is the main dude, and he's providing you advice.
Oh my god, is he wearing a wig?
Nope,
or is that
his hair. In fact,
how did he? No.
Yep.
Really?
Really?
Look at. Okay.
All right, and so.
I'm so excited.
And here we go. We're going to pick up more or less where we left off with the one that I think a lot of people would want to hear about.
Well,
we're going to start with the friend zone.
Well, make sure that there's subtitles, because just in case you're not giving me this audio.
Well, I'm pretty sure I've got the subtitles set up.
Okay,
do I have them up? Yes,
crossed.
I do.
Fingers crossed.
So, like I said, we have got girlfriend to girlfriend. So,
oh god.
Starting from the beginning, this is actually kind of soul destroying in a very real way.
Oh no. Oh man. I don't know. I don't know what to expect.
Aside from his O face just then?
A dumpster fire, at least? I don't know. Oh my god, there's DLC for it, Oliver G says in chat.
Yeah, the DLC is basically unlock all the shit that you unlock otherwise in the game. It's kind of horrifying.
Wow, so he charges you extra to just like auto unlock?
Seen you for a while.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going?
I'm very well.
What is he doing? Just like browsing pictures of brides on the internet while he drinks his breakfast tea? What the heck was that scene?
I think the implication is this is his girlfriend. Well, the girl he is interested in at the very least.
Gotcha.
Actually, I'm gonna sign up for some design.
Oh wow. And these subtitles are like literally the worst subtitles I've ever seen.
Very cool. What else?
They couldn't have done like any. They're like, let's just put white subtitles over everyone's just stark white minimalist background and white shirts.
Oh, you?
Now, I'm assuming everybody can actually hear the audio, so if you can't, let me know in the chat.
I'm not that busy. Kind of relaxed, enjoying life. Have some trips planned and stuff. Do you have anything planned?
But yes, this is you can tell just by watching. These are professional actors. It is so very high quality.
No, I was gonna ask you to come and to take care of my cats.
Oh,
Do
okay.
you have some free time? Just a few times during this weekend to come and to cook.
So our goal here is to escape the friend zone.
You mean
Exactly.
No. He's not eating that. No, of course. He needs.
Did I just hear another?
Yes, you did. Let's see if we're getting
What?
some.
No. What? No.
Here we go.
What? No.
What?
Somebody to cook for him. And I was gonna
This was my revenge, and now still you just get to come and stream things with other people. Oh, betrayal.
Can you do that?
Just
I
further
like
and
it.
further
It's very
betrayal.
sweet.
I let you soak in it for a while, like this. Like you had this great hot tub. You know, you had the jacuzzi.
Yeah,
in
it was
your
great. And
room.
then you got it and you peed in it. Thanks, Dan.
Uh,
Thank you.
I was gonna say I came along and just like dumped an entire box of Rice Krispies in it, but
No.
sure.
No.
Now,
Obviously, you just jumped in with me and
Oh
then
wow!
peed.
Oh, these options.
these are your
here.
options. Yes, that's kind of amazing.
I feel like if you just whip out your dick, that's the best way to quickly get out of the friends. Like that's the clearest
It will get you.
way.
Out
It will definitely get you out of the friend zone. It'll make sure you're never friends again.
That's the clearest way, obviously. The clearest delineation between friend and not friend zone.
Though our goal is sex, not just escape.
I mean,
not
if you're
not
going
just
to
resolve the friend zone.
if you're going to have sex though, your penis needs to be out. Am I mistaken in this belief? I feel like I've had it a few times, a handful of times in my life, and there was always a penis out of pants.
I mean, not wrong.
Like, we just find the time that's good for you.
A little reductive.
Now, in a coffee shop, but another day.
All right, we're getting a couple complaints about the FPS. I may have to pause the stream long enough to fix that.
Are you using a window capture?
Yeah.
Okay, so window capture doesn't like window capture just it doesn't run at full speed, so you'll either need to use a siphon inject or a monitor capture.
Wow, you can't just throw around fancy industry terms, Dan.
They're not industry terms. He's using OBS. That's what it's called. It's called. It'll show the option that it'll show up as is siphon inject is what it's called.
Can we not talk about injections when we're just whipping our dicks out in this game? Like, can that not be?
Later on, we may have to do it. I think part of it is that under settings, hey guys, back behind the scenes again because I know what I'm doing. It's got common FPS values as 29.97, so which may be the problem. So, long story short, with the game itself, however, we just tried Ask for a Blowjob, and then, of course, LaRuina just is shaking his head at us, telling us, no, you never want to do this.
Oh my god. My favorite part, though, was, I don't know if you, like, I mean, I guess other people can literally hear him, even though I can't. He said, yeah, go ahead and keep doing all of these terrible options in the game, but in real life, don't whip your dick out and ask for a blowjob. And it's like, okay, well, sure, but like maybe don't also say, go ahead and keep choosing these terrible options in the game. Like, why would you suggest that at all?
I mean, I think the idea is that it's like that this is supposed to be presented as like a training simulator.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, like explore the different options and see why they do or don't work.
The problem is that the quote-unquote right options are often even worse than the wrong ones. So, for example, like I said, the current scenario is she's going to a festival, she is asked you to take care of her cat, like, you know, you might do for a friend. And if you were to respond to her as a friend, well, how is it going to play out?
Exactly. Thank you.
You're gonna obviously stay friends. I thought the goal was to not be friends.
The goal, yeah, the goal is to take this simple request to cat sit and escalate it into sex. It's a very bad goal.
It's a bad goal. I mean, okay, to be fair, it's not a bad goal.
It's a bad long-term goal. It's
like if the goal is
Yeah, acting like a friend is considered to be failure. Here, I'm going to turn up the volume real quick for everybody.
Yeah.
You can enjoy the horrible music while I do this.
I don't hear any horrible music. I escaped.
It's like bad slow jams.
Yes. Like
All right.
Bow Chicka Bow Wow kind of slow
Yeah.
jams. Oh my god.
Haven't seen you for.
All right, so getting back to it, we just got done telling her, sure, what her friend's for. Richard sadly shakes his hands at us and tell us, no, never do that.
Never just be helpful.
Never be a friend. Never be never actually be the friend she thinks you are. My God,
That's
what's
terrible.
wrong with you?
That's terrible. That's awful.
Now, what we do have instead is this is the supposed right answer. Tell her you're a little busy this week, which in this case is meant to be a lie.
I'd love to help.
Oh, so we're just lying to escalate the stakes.
Because you don't want to be the doormat.
I don't think I'd have time. Sorry.
You
maybe...
don't want to
Think
just
about it.
like
Maybe you can do it.
babysit
Few hours a day.
her pet.
It's a
You
cat,
wanna
right?
Yeah,
you
it's a
wanna
cat.
stick
Cat
it in.
sitting.
Yeah, we are trying to help the cat.
I don't know. I feel
That
like
could, but
even
I'm not
if I
sure,
did
what time.
want to get out of the friend zone and get laid, I also would not turn down hanging out in this woman's like minimalist dream with a cat. like be like, sure, yeah, okay, fine. I'll cat sit. Like
It
I
sounds
would
like
take
she
that
does.
up.
I'm looking at the dialogue as it goes. It's kind of like she doesn't
Free
even
and
want you
stuff,
to
and I don't
cat
wanna tell
sit.
you I
She just
can, and
wants
then
you
you-
to like, hey, can you stop by after work and
like
feed
waiting
my
for-
cat?
Ask you
Yeah, like
Salmon
not
and
even
stuff,
that.
and
Not
I'm
even.
not there,
It's a
you know?
cat. It'll be fine left alone, but it needs food and water and
I know,
do the
like-
litter.
You can find someone else.
It's-
I'm sure.
It's
Next
almost as
time,
though
next
that
time.
the people writing the script for this have no
Sometimes we need
idea
to say
what to do when
no,
you're cat
and
sitting.
These girls that put you in the friend zone.
Hey, bro, you ever seen a cat? I think I saw one once. I threw a rock at it.
The way
This
to
one
break
time.
out is
Oh,
to
sick,
start
man.
treating them more like a friend rather than a girl that you're
Oh,
trying to
now
date,
he's
and
got
this is a way to do
babes
it. So
in-
it's
Oh
very
wow.
fortunate.
Okay, so all of the good
Who are you going
options
to the
are
festival
him
with?
with his like
With my boyfriend.
two half-naked
this guy,
lady
yeah.
friends in their
How is that,
like
by the way,
insane
relationship?
Louboutins.
It's okay.
What are they doing?
Okay.
They're
What
doing
are they
nothing. They will
doing?
never
It's not
even make eye
perfect.
contact with him.
Tell me more.
I will
He's
bet
very
you.
busy
I will bet you
recently.
money
We
that
don't
they're
get
like, we need
enough
to.
time
What's a
together,
high
so I
status symbol
usually I
for
see him,
women
like, once or
that we
twice a
want to
week.
have sex
He's
with in
always in
Louboutins?
the office.
Here's some
Or
red paint.
even when he's at
Go
home,
buy
he's
yourself
in
some
his
shoes at the
computer, so
dollar
there's
store,
not much communication
and
between
then
us.
So he doesn't
and then
really
paint
pay
those
attention to you and stuff.
bottoms.
No. This
Looks like
this
that.
looks like
Yeah, it
exactly the
looks like
kind of
that to me.
production that is
Probably
going
his project
to
taking too
borrow
much
someone
time.
else's credit card, buy the shoes, and then return them 2 days later.
After they've been
After
worn.
they're just they're just
Or-
gonna they're
no,
gonna
no,
use
I feel
return
like-
policy as a rental.
I
rental
feel like
strategy.
no. I feel like they would then instead try to sell them on the internet as like a worn pair of ladies' Louboutin shoes, and use that to get some of their production budget back. That's what I feel like the kind of people working on this production do.
I think that would be their backup after they were told they can only return them for store credit.
That they can only return them for that they can't actually get a refund. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know if they would even necessarily, because this got kicked off a Kickstarter. I want to say it was aiming for like $100,000 for its budget. If you get kicked off a Kickstarter, you don't get funded, then you don't get the money. So I would suspect it's more along the lines of like, all right, we bought some really cheap shoes on Payless.
And that's the best you can do.
Yeah, they bought some shoes at Payless and some red paint and just painted the undersides and said, no one's going to notice. They're going to be staring at the tits.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they might have even been able to find some lookalikes that do, well enough in compressed video. It's like, all right, we got some $100 knockoffs instead of, $1,200 shoes.
I feel like I don't think anyone else is allowed to make shoes with like red bottoms. Like I think that's like.
You think
it-
China cares?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure that it happens.
It totally happens, and
You can, Crystal. You live in New York. You can go find a
I
great
can literally
choach
go
bag.
buy them. Yeah, a choach. I could go pick up a choach bag right now. I could. By the time I could go buy a knockoff of like any name brand item and get back to my apartment before you guys even finish this stream. And
yeah, you could get a fabled Hermes bag for all of this. And right now,
I used to have a great glass-encrusted Rolleiflex.
I love a good roll flex.
I had a Rolex once. Got that one in Hong Kong. So, current situation, she's now talking, his friend, I put in air quotes because, let's be honest, his friend is now complaining that her boyfriend works all the time, and what are we supposed to say about it? And so we have the various options. No? What does he sound?
Wait, she's complaining about her boyfriend?
She is complaining about her boyfriend.
Well, given the game's attitude, B might even be just a little too aggressive for these guys.
Yeah, I mean the two obvious ones are like talking shit about her boyfriend, but also
Or
like
C, just tearing her down. Like C, just completely undermines her with that backhand. It's like, being treated like crap is kind of the best that you could hope for.
yeah, good job.
So let's see what happens with this one.
Well, yeah, he's not perfect. But, I mean,
tell her
could
he's
you
a
really
shit.
do better?
Tell her he's a shit that she could do better.
Really?
She
You
couldn't
think
do
so
better.
little about me?
Well, she needs to break up with him. So B needs to break up with
nice
him.
and all, but I mean, imagine you were looking for another
Okay, we're
man.
gonna try. Okay, C.
There wouldn't be that
yeah.
many lining up with that.
I
Could you
disagree.
really do better?
I think many guys.
You think
would
so little about me?
like to go
I
out
mean,
with me.
you're nice.
Yeah, but they're mostly weirdos and freaks and guys that just want sex and bye-bye.
Oh man,
Anyways, no.
I
Moment of
disagree.
self-awareness
girl,
right there.
You better disagree
sometimes you gotta
because
hear the truth.
you're fine.
So stay with him because
I mean, I don't know your personality, but you own a cat and you're pretty good looking.
Thanks for the
And,
advice.
And look at that house.
and you,
slash
This is
apartment.
close to being right, but it's a little bit.
I don't know where
harsh,
this
little
takes
you
bit
place,
live,
so I don't know.
and not the
you
right
live in a
time, since she's
great
already said
Anyway, let's
10,000
change the
Villages
subject.
showroom.
How are you? How's it going?
It's
Work?
beautiful. It's just great.
It's all right. I have some
Oh
interesting
my God.
projects actually.
It was close to being right.
One of
Close.
them
Oh,
Wow.
didn't work out,
no.
but two are looking really
Oh no,
promising. And
B
it's
is going to be the
something
correct answer.
It'll be pretty big, yeah. So
Or is it gonna
I won't
move
say
on?
more.
No,
It was just
it's
going to move
be
on,
A.
unfortunately.
Because that one was
I'll tell you if it works
close
out.
Good
enough.
enough.
And
It was good enough to move on.
I think that saying that he's a shit, they would say is too aggressive. Like
Too
from
aggressive.
what I know about the game stuff, like you want to make them think it's their idea that the other person is a piece of shit.
Yeah, the
It's
actual
still about
answer,
manipulation.
the actual answer that you were supposed to give, because I've had to play this piece of shit all the way through before, is that you're supposed to say, actually, he seems kind of cool. You know, he's really into his job. You kind of have to learn to roll with it.
Oh, that's it. Oh,
That's out of left field.
I get it.
did not expect that one.
No, I get it now because they want you to justify other.
You want to
male
align yourself.
behavior.
You want to align yourself with the person she already is screwing.
Exactly.
So
He's
that
telling,
you can be the
yeah,
next
because he
one.
the whole idea is, oh no, I do this too, you know. So it's totally understandable, and you're trying to draw allusions to the similarities between the two of you. Like, oh, you like him? Well, I'm also
Yeah.
kind of like this.
So it's align yourself and justify.
And then the nice thing is we've just had a moment of where they couldn't even hire somebody else to come walk through the scene where she supposedly catches you checking someone out, and now she's giving you the side eye for it.
What is D? Because you're in front of it for me.
Look at this girl and comment about how. Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
What's it say?
okay, you got me, but look at her boobs. She's got these amazing.
She's very
boobs, like,
nice.
really
It's
firm.
beautiful,
She's got
yes.
this sexy tan, and look at her fanny there.
Oh
You
no.
can kind of see
Are we?
the
Are
outlines.
have we?
Yeah.
Really, really sexy. Imagine just.
Oh no.
Look at this girl and comment about
Oh
how
yeah,
sexy
that's
she
right.
looks.
That's so right.
Don't want to
Sorry,
imagine
alright,
that.
but-
She's beautiful, yes.
Okay.
Let's
Look at
stop
her.
talking
Wait,
about it.
Fanny?
Just look a little
Did-
bit more. Hang on.
He's British.
Is this?
Pretend
Oh,
So
okay.
he literally just talked about her vagina.
Yeah. All right.
Look at her hoo-ha, just with her jeans
check out that
shoved
camel
up in
toe.
it. Check out that
This girl's
camel
just your
toe.
friend.
I'm
Why
really
not look
into
at her?
it.
Of course, that's the right thing to do.
Hashtag def
Why
my
not
kink.
talk about being interested in other girls?
Oh
it's
my
exactly
God.
what you should do if you're just this girl's friend. And
The
if
thing I love
you
is
want
the
her to like
massive
you
difference
more
between how
than she
Richard
does.
looks in the videos and then how he
That's
looks in the
very annoying.
commentary. He looks like unfrozen
Because
caveman lawyer in the
guys
follow-ups.
always do that.
He does. He looks
On a
like he
date
was
with
like
girl,
a
they check it
backup,
out
like a
other
stand-in
girls,
for
and
Brendan
they think
Fraser in
girls don't see
Encino
it,
Man.
but they do actually.
And what's the problem with that?
So the
Makes
actual
me feel
answer
like
was
I'm not
just
beautiful
like,
enough.
Talk about someone
Talk about
else.
someone else's
yeah,
lady bits.
because women be jealous, yo.
Mm.
And if you establish your, you know, sexual prominence, dominance,
Sexual desirability.
availability,
Your sexual dimension.
dimension, you go to the sex dimension.
You were like 5 seconds away from launching into the Rocky Horror Picture Show there.
I felt like it. Yeah.
Like it was, you were about to.
I really got into my Dr.
Almost.
Frankenfurter for a second there. Yeah.
You almost did it. It was really close.
And now she's talking about how all of this makes her feel. Oy.
Oh my god, please tell her that your friend wanted to jizz on her face. I just want to
Wait,
see
what?
her reaction.
One of the reactions is her talking about how she doesn't feel attractive because her boyfriend or date to check other women out is, I don't look very nice. And one of the options is, you're crazy, you're so hot, my friend Mahmood wants to jizz on your face.
I gotta know. I
need to know what
Also,
they think
I
a
need
girl's
to-
reaction to
I
that
need,
would be.
I need chat. I need the people watching to be exposed to a British man saying this line out loud.
I want to emphasize a weird thing about this game. Almost all of the women, with the exception of 1 to 2, are Russian, and every time he refers to somebody else, it is almost always someone with an Arabic name.
Oh my god.
This is just a weird thing I picked up while I was watching this. And so, option C, get ready for this.
I'm so
I'm
excited.
unmuting it. I need to
It's
hear
very
it.
sexy. And
Really?
Yeah, your body and stuff. Yeah. I was sitting, you know, my friends Alex and Mahmoud and Raitgad. I was sitting with them the other day, and they
Right,
were
totally
just
real
saying,
friends.
Who was it? I think it was Mahmoud. He said, I would fuck Lilia all day, all night,
easy,
like 6 times,
You
whatever.
don't need to discuss.
And then Alex said he'd love to like jizz somewhere on your face or something.
You
and-
guys don't have
and
any
then
other subjects to talk
Raitgad
about?
was like, maybe we could all do it together, get her drunk, and she might be into that. Can you ask her next time you see her if she likes that?
Meet them ever again, please.
Well, they want to meet you, and I think they're willing to do whatever it takes.
They don't
but-
need to.
So don't worry. Many men are looking at you, checking you out, imagining sticking it in different places, and.
Okay,
No, I'm absolutely
that was
confident.
literally
Be
Thank
very
you very much.
so
Yeah.
That sounds
horrifyingly
like a compliment.
not
So
how
look,
a girl
Mahmoud's
would
having
react
this
to
big
hearing that
party
from
on Friday night.
someone
We're all going to be there, and maybe
that-
you could come. Just
that-
follow
Way,
the boys.
no,
It's-
I'm not
wasn't
coming.
already
Three
into.
guys.
About Mahmoud.
Three
like,
guys.
especially in
friends.
public.
You never had this.
Or no, they're
kind
at her
of
house.
thing?
I never.
No, they're in
had
public
this
because some
It's
girl
like
walked
this. You said
by.
you'd
Yep,
not
they're at a
feel
cafe
confident.
somewhere that
So
just
imagine
looks
on
like
Friday
somebody's,
night, you've
like,
got all these men
That looks
just
like
West
someone's
Elm
showroom.
showroom, yeah.
It looks like
also-
it looks like the corner bedroom at the IKEA. Is really.
confidence.
But it
Think of
also
like a
keeps
life
going.
coaching class
Oh
to be
my
more confident.
god.
Like on mine, it's still going.
No, it's still going.
It's like,
For an
It's
hour,
this is
still going.
minutes long.
Can you hear
Yep.
me?
Where he's
Yeah.
I'm
And see,
very upset now.
really?
I am very upset now. I am very
sorry.
authentic
Shut
actress.
Please don't do anything
Shut up,
about
please.
it.
You're annoying
It's
me.
not
Is
that
the
big problem.
fucking
Okay, but just so you
understatement
know,
of the
there
year
are lots
to.
of men that
No, of course
going.
you're really pretty.
And
My two
yeah.
friends wanted to
Basically
jizz on
just
your
right
face,
Right
and
now, they're probably
I
getting
said we
like,
should just
hey,
get you really drunk, and
things
you'd
and talking
probably
about
let
you.
us do
You're
it.
the one they
Like
forget.
all of us.
News.
This is why
This is what I
playing
need
this
to
game
know.
for a review
Thank
took
you
me
very
2 days
Anytime.
because these damn scenes never end.
I just want to point out, it's still
Towards
not
your,
done
you know, comradeship, bringing
on
your
my
friends
screen yet.
into
Like,
it,
it's still
especially
going.
Mahmoud,
We're
you
not
know,
at
that
the next
guy-
question yet.
Guy would really be into it, but
Did he
definitely
just
no
say?
place for that kind of
Did
thing
he just say that
outside of the game, I
that
think.
he masturbates to her? He just said something like, "I just like am doing stuff and thinking about you."
I feel like confessing to her that he jerks off while thinking about her is like the least detail in that conversation.
Oh my god, that was.
I mean, it did open
absolutely-
pretty strong with
That
me
was
and my
like,
two friends
oh my
want to
God.
get you drunk and jizz on you. Like,
And he said, he was like, and I suggested we could just get her drunk and like we could all do it. Like what? And this chick, first of all, she's still sitting there is really, that right there says so much about how little this guy knows how a girl would react to anything. It'd be one thing if he played it off like he was joking, like oh yeah, you know, Mahmood, he totally said he was gonna jizz on your face. Ha ha ha. Oh, I'm only. It's the what? Dan, what's the butt sex joke? Continuum.
Principle.
The butt sex principle.
The butt stuff principle.
The butt stuff principle.
Just joking, unless you're gonna do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're only as serious as.
When here's the formal statement. When the sincerity of a statement is inversely proportional to the hostility of the reception.
Exactly.
I call that the Hot in Here remix rule. Gaming Viking said, did I die and am I in hell? Oh, Gaming Viking. This is hell, nor are you out of it.
Oh God.
I love the freeze frame they gave for her face right here. This is just kind of classic. Acting with your eyes.
This is just so bad. So wait, so my thing is this supposed to be like you're going back in time and trying again?
Yes.
Or did you
This is
say
Dragon's
that
Lair
and
for
now you're continuing?
No, this is Dragon's Lair for assholes. When you make the wrong move, you see the consequences, and then you go back to the choice you just made. So now we've all gone back, and now we've got another option. We already know that C is the wrong one.
I feel like you look fine. That's not an issue if you're confident. Is like the game level of actually saying anything nice. Like it's like, yeah, you're fine. You're okay, I guess. Like if you were just more confident, whatever. Like maybe stop sucking. Like
I mean, personally, I think B and D are, well, I can't see the end of
I'm assuming
D,
it
but
says
it's
tell her all the things you like about her friends.
About her,
There we go.
That's what.
Now you can see more of it. Tell her things you like about her appearance.
About her appearance.
Yeah, no, that's way too. You
I don't
can't
know,
just
I
give
mean,
a girl a bunch of compliments for freebies. That's not acceptable.
Yeah, I'm
no-
personally like I'm trapped because I'm getting hung up on the fact that like
Yeah, there's the
It's like,
real
okay,
answer, and then there's what Richard wants you to say.
yeah,
It's
it's like
definitely B.
we're having brunch with a friend who has a significant other. Maybe shut up.
Maybe
Yeah.
don't try to get her in bed.
It's definitely B. That's the only one that's shitty enough to be what he wants you to do. Like that's not.
No, there's nothing wrong with the way
Yeah,
you
because
look.
you're saying
Nothing,
it's like your
just
looks are
need to be more
fine. It's
confident.
just it's your personality
Very
that's
sweet.
broken.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll try.
Literally, no woman has ever responded to
Now
that
here
before.
she's trying to bait a compliment, but you didn't fall for it. So
Notice
well
how
done.
bored
That's
the
exactly what
woman
you
in the
do, just a
back
quick
is. She's
response
not
with
even
the
like
facts.
checked out completely.
By the way, I saw your ex-girlfriend a
Who,
few days
Agatha?
ago. Yes.
Oh, thanks. I'll try.
She was with a nice guy.
Nice guy.
Here's our
Nice
sexy
guy.
models.
Well, he looked
Yeah,
good.
and they're
He did.
and she
the,
looked
the
happy.
one on the
She's
right is in the forward
shit.
position.
They
That
look
means it's
happy.
100%
They still
answer,
have
not a
feelings for her.
half-ass answer.
Oh,
And they're
I
also
don't
yeah.
fully,
know.
they're
I'd
also
rather she
like
was
in their
unhappy.
underwear instead of
Not
mostly
being mean,
dressed.
you know, than happy with some.
Oh, are they dressed like? Are they actually dressed differently
How
than the other
about
one?
They
your
are.
love life? Is
It's
it
it's one of those things you don't notice at first until you examine it far too much. And we have now gotten to the point where they have literally said, "So anyway, how's your sex life?"
How's? Oh yeah, there it is. How's your love life? Are you still single? Tell her that you. I feel like C is gonna be about a 30-minute response given
About how much you
how
masturbate,
much.
how often it's to her, and that you have a photo of her you took when she passed out at your house that one time, and you took it of her sleeping, and you jizz on it when you
Yeah.
wink. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's exactly what I expected.
Bristol,
Specifics
that
about
got really
technique.
specific very quickly.
Like it's like there's gonna be a lot about technique in there, and yeah.
Okay, so the only one
Y'all want to
that
see it,
is-
don't you?
the only one that's like legitimately a cute flirt that I also could see maybe being recommended is like, is E, where you're like, well, you know, there's one chick I like and she's pretty nearby. But then I feel like the next answer would be like, say that, but then be like, yeah, I come to this coffee shop all the time and I have fucked the barista. So like, get over yourself. I know
Ferk
you
is
thought
in the
that was
chat
you.
is begging us not to pick C. Ferk, I had to watch this.
I kind of want to like shove it upon them, guys. You're being
She
dogged
said
by our poor choices in this
C.
game.
I mean, we know it's
Yeah,
the
I'm
wrong
single, and
answer,
you know
but we
it's
just
really
want to see
hard
how
because
wrong
I
it
just-
is.
you know I'm a sex
just-
addict.
here's
and
the thing,
when I have a girlfriend,
I'm
like,
torn
having sex
because
all
I
day
feel
long,
like
basically.
him
And so
telling her that
dating
his
is really
friend
hard,
wanted to
so
jizz on her
I'm
face,
basically,
and then it going
you know,
on and on and
I'm
on,
a
and her
masturbate,
just react,
basically,
like literally her just
maybe
even still
10,
being there
12,
was enough for me
sometimes
to know
more
how bad
times
it
per
could
day.
be. But
And
I
just,
also
sometimes
kind
watch some videos,
I kind
sometimes
of just
think
want
about
to
something,
see him try to
sometimes
talk about.
listen to something, maybe remember something.
Okay, stop it. No,
10,
got it.
12.
Got it. Got it.
But they say it's
Oh.
healthy, right? So it's okay.
Very healthy.
And uses a lot of
Yeah,
calories.
yeah.
Don't need to go
But
to the
your
gym
head
as
is-
much.
Yeah, I just watched some videos.
Serious point here,
Listen,
guys.
yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
don't
it's
jerk
gonna
off
keep
so much.
going.
Makes you better with women. When you're a bit hungry, when you're out there, when your testosterone's up a bit, when you want sex more, you're more likely to actually even approach girls.
Hey, it was
and,
okay. It was not as
you know,
long
work out
as
a good
not
conversation.
as
And
long
she
as I was
actually,
expecting.
she literally
Yes,
said
definitely.
your head is not healthy, which I think is probably one of my favorite comebacks so far.
Please don't
in
say come in this context. I love the fact that his advice is, okay, first of all, don't jerk off so much. That's
You gotta
a
save
problem.
up. You gotta save up those manly hormones, store 'em in your balls, so that you really want it when you go
No, no,
out
no,
to
no,
the
no.
bar.
Don't you understand? Pee
now
is
that you
stored in the
mention it,
balls.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that didn't that his feedback on your on that answer didn't include a little mini screed about like magic jizz.
Yeah, like you should. If you do ever wank, you should save it and then drink it, so you don't lose any of the manly,
The vital man
stuff.
essence.
Yes.
that-
Yeah. There is a legit magic cum Twitter that is the most
Yeah,
horrifying
it's-
thing
it's-
ever.
Oh my
I
god.
For
don't
all
wanna
of your
say
gorilla
amazing,
mindset
but-
needs.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
it's
God.
hypnotic. You know.
These are the things. These are the depths to which I have to go on a regular basis to find content for you people, because I have to understand what these folks are saying. It is the
Right,
most
like you
horrifying.
have to know how to like combat it. You have to know.
I have to know where the
respond
trends
to-
are. Disturbingly
Yeah.
enough.
Like
I
this
mean-
this is what's wrong and why.
I haven't.
It's why Dan has read 50 Shades of Grey about 7 times, 20 times. How many times now, Dan? How many times?
I don't even know. Like the thing is I've had to read so many chunks of it like out of order so many times that I don't know what the conglomerate.
You don't know what it
reading
adds up
is.
to?
It doesn't
Like,
add
front-
up to anything.
It
you
does
can,
it like front to back twice. But
You can literally read it in any order, and it will make exactly as much sense.
it honestly, yes, it makes as little sense out of it. So I actually at this point have a lot of trouble piecing it back together in order.
Right, because they
Because of
repeat the
that.
same conversation so many times.
And
too.
they
It's
have
like,
the same sets over and over.
Is this the time they
Yeah.
have outside the bar or in their bedroom?
Yeah.
Is this the
Okay.
time where, in the movie, where he has sex with his pants on? Or is this the time when he has sex with his pants on? Oh, no, wait. This is going to be the time when he has his sex, wait for it, with his pants
His pants on.
off.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, surprise! That one's just gonna switch it up a little bit.
The one time he was actually, they were actually able to get Jamie Dornan to take his pants off. In the
I wanna
entire
know- okay.
series.
Okay, I want you to pick E because that's like a cute one, and I want to know if it's right. I want to know how he justifies it, and if it's wrong, I want to know what he says about how you shouldn't actually flirt with a woman.
This is the like anime dating sim option. Before I poke this one real quick, Matt Ainsworth in the chat wants to know, are we getting a podcast this week? Yes, we are. So, just letting you guys know, and now we continue. And before we do, I like the look of pain on her face, because it so mirrors the pain I'm feeling right now.
There's one guy I really like.
So fun
actually,
story
I've
about
known
Christian
her for a
Grey's
while.
Dom jeans.
We're kind
When
of
I was
friends.
in the
You know, we meet sometimes
when
for coffees and stuff.
I was in the theater watching
she's kind
50
of the-
Shades Freed. You get to the very end, and Anna like goes
that I
to
want, so-
goes to the playroom and is like laying out all of this stuff, and she lays out
Kind
the
of,
Dom jeans,
yeah.
and for whatever
But
reason,
never
I had
mind,
like
but,
completely forgotten.
You know, I'm just waiting for the
Like
day
it had
she
just
realizes
completely
that,
escaped
you know,
my
good old Richard,
my
her good
brain
friend, is the
that
one who
that
she should be
Christian has
I hope you're
his
not
like
talking
ripped
about
up
me.
Dom jeans.
You hope
So she
that
like
I'm
lays
not,
them out on the bed and like
and
smooths them
therefore
out, because
I'm
at this
not.
point like
So,
it
no, it's
hasn't come
another-
up at
it's
all
another
in
girl that I meet,
that third
friends,
movie,
coffee,
and
and-
like
Oh,
smooths it
cool.
out and the
Let's go.
camera like
You'd like to
lingers
meet
over. I'm like,
her.
what the hell is
Oh,
up
well,
with
you know
these
what? She
ratty
really
ass
just
jeans,
hates,
and why are they
people,
getting a
and girls
beauty shot?
especially. She just
Is she on Facebook? Do you have any pictures of her?
No, you know
Are
what?
these
When she
important?
was young, someone took her picture,
And then it like
then they
took me
immediately
like a
died,
couple
so she
hours to
never
be
lets
like, oh
anyone take
wait,
her pictures, so
right,
there's nothing
he has
exists
his
of her.
Dom
No
jeans.
pictures.
Any chance I can see her?
It's so
Maybe. I'll tell you what. I'll talk to her and let's, forget about that.
You would
You'll
never
probably
think
meet
that
her
with
one
50
day.
Shades
Yeah,
that they could
I'm sure
actually
you'll
make
meet her.
boobs
Maybe.
boring.
Chill it out a bit. You don't need to be so eager. Treat her like you would treat any of your
classic.
other friends.
I feel like this one's gonna be like a half heart answer. No.
Nope.
Chill it out a bit. You don't need to be so eager. Well, I mean,
So
the problem
eager.
isn't the concept of your response. The problem
Yeah,
is that
okay.
you
So I
told
don't
your
know if
actor
you
to
saw that
just
there
keep
though, but
going and going and going.
he definitely was talking about her, and then she was like, "I hope you're not talking about me." And he's like, well, you hope I'm not. So obviously, not. No, definitely a different friend." Like it was like the most ridiculous misdirect ever. Oh.
So,
Oh my God.
yeah, this is one of those moments of where trying to get into the head of Richard is kind of disturbing in its own way, because you're sitting there having to fight your own instincts, going like, no, this is not how like actual people talk. What is it that they're asking of you? And the more you think about it, the more horrifying it gets.
It's very LA Noir in that you'll pick an answer that kind of sounds right, and then the response, or like then the way that the actors actually do it is like completely different. You're playing LA Noir, and it's like you suspect that this person's lying, so you hit lying, and Cole just starts like screaming at the person.
God, yes, that is exactly what that
it's
was.
like, so from this is like, hey, lightly flirt about, like, it's like, hey, about the fact that you've had a crush on her, and then the actual response is drag on for 3 minutes in like a horribly distended joke about how you've thought about her since you were kids.
So I only had one interaction with LA Noir, and my bestie James was playing it one day, and I was in my room, and I just heard him go, fuck. So I go wandering out. I'm like, oh, what's going on? And I see he's playing a game. I'm like, oh, what happened? Like, what'd you do? He's like, oh, I contaminated a crime scene. And I start to ask him, oh, how did you do that? Like, what did you do? And I'm like, oh, how did you? And he just like cuts me off. And he's like, I backed into it with my car.
The weirdest thing for me playing that game is the actor who was playing Detective Phelps looks and sounds exactly like a friend of mine, Jason Murphy, who's on The Modern Rogue with Brian Brushwood.
That's so weird.
And,
oh, you're friends with one of those guys?
Yeah. And we were on the League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen together for a while.
Cool.
And watching it was a weird experience, because we're just sitting there watching, and it's like, you close your eyes and it's Jason Murphy. And then later on, when you get to the murder desk, he is partnered with someone who is almost the very spitting image of another friend of ours who was also on the podcast, Bo. So it's the adventures of of Bo and Jason going around LA solving crime.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's gotta be B, because you wouldn't just say that you're single and not like get anything out of it by just saying nothing much, I'm single. And at saying anything about actually liking her is obviously wrong every time. So it's gotta be B. Imply that there's someone else you're interested in that
So,
isn't her.
Basically telling her, that's right, I fuck.
Yes, basically that's
Yeah,
what I
I'm
think.
still single, but
That's
Like Goku.
I did have a date recently with this girl, yeah, and she was, she's very pretty, but also she's just really intelligent. We had great conversation, so only one date so far, but definitely want to see her again because she seems.
Eric Zimmerman said,
great.
"I want to play this game from the point of view of the woman," but I read it as, "I want to play this game from the point of
It's
view
not
of a
sexy to
human,"
just
and
let
I
her think that you're
thought
chilling
that
at
was
home
much
playing
more
PlayStation
accurate.
and, never seeing
Oh
anyone.
man.
Why
Oh,
not
that
have
would be a
date
great
night
little
that's gonna
narrative
make you
game,
more
actually, where it's
attractive,
like
make her work
you're
harder.
a.
Like, this is why
you're
he's
like
so
the
bad
next,
at it,
Out of
because
the
he's
friend
actually
zone
an alien.
so that she sees
No,
you in a
like
different
you're the
light. It's
next,
correct
like you're at the
culture.
next table over, like listening to this date or this like, and you've got to like live tweet the disaster as it's happening.
Well, I think the game that what they're talking about is literally the game where you're a woman trying to fend off various real life PUAs. So like Mystery is in there, Rouge V is in there. I want to
Oh,
say
that would be
Julien
great,
Blanc is in
too.
there. In
Like
fact,
this whole.
I may have to
this-
stream that one a bit later if there's a version that I can actually like purchase. That might make for an interesting version.
Okay,
Yeah,
this one's
like-
an obvious one. Like, it's definitely B. Just ignore her.
Yeah, and I want you to pay attention to how much of an emergency this is sounding like in her text. It's like, oh my god, I need to talk to you right now, right now, right now.
Remember that you need to treat her just like
Can-
one of your
can I
average
get a-
friends.
can I get a
Sometimes you can
C
be busy,
answer
sometimes
that's
you can
just
be
like,
doing stuff.
hey,
You want to move away
what's
a little
up?
bit so that she starts working harder
Right.
for you.
Right. Not like, oh man, I'm totally here for you. I'm a shoulder to cry on. But also not like ignore someone who's supposed to be your friend, who just said they really need to talk to you and they're upset.
Yeah, Snoop Jedi points out she doesn't even have a name, for fuck's sake. She's just a random chick, huh? Except we've been told her name earlier when in the option about like his friend Mahmoud jizzing on her face. We found out her name's Lilia.
Oh, okay.
I think that's just going to be a product of different people making the different things. So like there wasn't like a central.
No, I need you to send her a dick
Central
pic.
creative
No,
link.
Dan, shut up. Send
Oh.
the dick pic.
Send a dick pic. Yeah. C is yeah.
Did you guys send the dick
Don't do
pic?
it. To be honest, I've never done it.
I just need to know. I mean, I know it's B,
need to
but
do
I
it.
need to.
Yeah, B is the right answer, but we need to C. Like we need to.
Dan, you were talking about something that wasn't a dick pic, and there was a dick pic.
There was an option.
and I
There was a
just-
dick pic
I
option.
had
No,
to, like-
I get it. I get it. Look at me. You don't need to do it. Oh, he just shuts that down instantly.
Yeah, thank
Okay,
fuck
at
for
least
that.
I will. Let's give. Okay, props where props are due. This is at least training dudes. Like, no, hey, no,
Stop
no,
that.
No.
Don't whip it out.
He's
Don't
got
say-
the
like,
rolled up
no.
newspaper. He's got the rolled
Yeah.
up newspaper. No.
The water bottle.
Yeah, just like shooting.
I just kind of like I now just almost want to see someone put in the Somali pirate into this. Look at me, look at me, look at me. I am the dick pic now.
I have the dick pic now.
We know B is the right
Yeah.
answer.
Now I want to point out once again,
wait.
she is writing to you in a panic. Where are you?
Where
Why
are
don't you
you?
respond?
Why
This
won't
is
you
after a
respond?
couple of minutes.
So, all right. So now, as rational human beings, we now assume that like he has like slashed the tires on her car or has stolen her cat.
Something
there-
horrible
there is
has
an
happened.
Imminent, there is an issue right now that goes beyond just like bad day.
That's fine. You're not there immediately, but you're still offering to help her. You're just not as available as you maybe have been in the past because you want to move out of the friend zone.
Now, in fairness, he's not entirely wrong. If you want to date someone, you don't want to be like Johnny on the spot, being a doormat. But this is still this is still gaslighting behavior in this case.
Yeah, the problem here is the intentional, like, string her along. Like, intentionally wait a while. Wait for her to, like, send you a second and make her a little bit desperate instead of just, like, hey, what's up?
Not now, right?
Try to look a little sad, Richard.
He's like already like smug about it. He's like, yes. Oh, you broke up?
Oh, you broke up? Oh, I feel so bad about that.
Notice how low-key she is about this too after those emergency texts.
Okay.
Like, she definitely looks like she's definitely been crying for a while after her 3-year relationship ended. Look, she looks so upset right now. They couldn't have even like little red makeup or something. Like, what? They could afford red bottom shoes, but they couldn't afford a blush stick from CVS.
Bring back 2 bottles of champagne. Bring her some flowers. Bring her
a tree.
Bring her a tree. Bring her a tree. I was absurd.
Honestly, given
love
the
trees.
Just like, given the canary-eating grin on his face as he's sitting on that couch, I'm surprised one of these options isn't come back with a box of condoms. Oh yeah, go into the other room and text her.
Send her a dick. Here, I have something that'll cheer you up. Go into the kitchen and snap a dick pic.
Everybody wants to see the comfort tree.
Please, I need to see it. Bring out the comfort tree.
What the shit?
Like trees and kumquats.
We haven't caught up yet. We need to. Is he actually gonna? Is he gonna?
Look at it. It's beautiful, right? You like it?
Yes.
It's great. So, remember,
Is it a
this is like
lemon
the new
orange
time in your
tree?
life, and it also
Well, I mean, it's a
gives
fake
the
tree.
It's a kumquat tree.
But it's like.
Okay.
It's,
No, it's real. He just said you can eat them.
I will one day. I will. Could you please?
well,
just
no,
put
I
it
mean, like, it's a.
somewhere?
Okay, I'll put him
They're
out there and I'll
pretending.
play some
They're
classical
pretending
music
it's
if
real,
you like
but
it.
that is
Oh,
clearly.
but it's obviously a fake tree.
Yeah, I can get you a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Actually, do you want kumquat wine or just
He just
normal boring white
dry
wine?
wine.
Yeah?
he was in that room.
She just tried so
actually like
nicely
this
to
one, to be
not
honest, but
accept
there's a
his
better
ridiculous.
Oh my god, this is a half-right answer.
He goes, so you could just take it. You could just take it home. And she goes, yeah, I will. I'll someday. Like, that was her response. She said someday, sure.
Tell me what happened. We can talk about it in a minute. I get to get
That's a
it.
half-right answer.
Nothing special.
So the half-right answer is
I
just in
just
general,
took
like,
minutes to analyze.
Get her a
the
tree.
The right answer was bring her
expensive
wine.
I realized
Yes, the real answer was to bring her wine.
in this relationship, and I
Oh
thought
my
that relationship
God.
is something nice,
Yeah.
but it wasn't for me. and it
so
was
guys, you
expensive,
could have.
ended up
Hang on a minute. So
You could have a dwarf
what
orange
that is.
tree sitting in your house at all times in anticipation, or you could just
I feel like here's the thing. I have to say though that I'm severely disappointed that he at no point tried to feed her a line about giving her wood
would
because there was a tree.
The
And
really
or a-
sad
a-
thing
like a
is I
log.
don't think he's actually clever enough to have thought of that. I mean, he gave her a kumquat tree, and they didn't make any jokes off of that.
Yeah, she didn't say like,
Comfort
did you
her
just
and try to
have
make her
this?
suck your. Okay, wait. Why did you get to say
Wait.
dick pic earlier, but now it's asterisked out? It
'Cause
said
it's-
dick pic.
I mean,
It
did
was
they
not
change
censored.
it to cock here and then go like, oh, you need to censor that, and so they did asterisks instead of just changing
So
it?
like dick is fine, but cock is pornographic. What? And also like hello.
We already we already like
We've already
asked for a
committed to playing
blowjob.
Super
Yeah,
Seducer.
this is all,
And
and this is
whipped out
already,
a
it's already MR or whatever the fuck it is on Steam. So
Comfort her and try to make her suck your cock. I don't even know which one of these is right. It's probably B because like A is too straightforward, but I
How
want to
does-
see. I want to see him try to convince her to suck his dick when she's upset.
admittedly, C is the one that a lot of people would go for at this point. A and C are the ones that a lot of people at this stage of it would actually go for because they think, all right, here we go. She's unhappy. She's just left this guy. This is my moment. And they're going to try to make their move. So these are actually at least somewhat realistic in terms of this is something that has happened.
In terms of dumb
decisions that people have made.
Right.
Oh, you poor thing. Come here.
What are you doing?
I was just stroking your
I
hand.
also like
because
that
relief
the
stress,
language
they
is
say.
try to
Yes.
make her suck your
I'll
dick.
send you the article.
Not like ask her to, not invite, no, try to make her. Like it implies he's gonna like grab her head and pull it. Oh,
But
he
that's
totally
exactly what happened.
Oh,
What happened? It's like it not even like a half cuddle to like lead up. Just
Straight for it.
The best part of that though is that it definitely implies that he was already hard, like watching her be upset. Like if he's ready to just grab her head and shove it onto his dick, like that means he's already hard. So something about that kumquat tree or like her being like maybe crying earlier has him ready to go.
Oh, he got a semi just as soon as he started talking about her ex-boyfriend.
Exactly.
I don't know. He jerks off like 12, 13 times a day.
That's
I'm not
a
sure
lot,
he
guys.
can anymore.
Like if you do that on the regular,
understand,
I
because it's
really
hard
like
now, 'cause we were
please
spending
hydrate.
every day
You
together,
could
and it's like,
seriously
something
do some
missing from
damage.
You'll need some
life is always
electrolytes.
You're gonna
there.
definitely
That
need
doesn't
some
mean that it was
Gatorade.
Eat a banana.
right, so it will be hard for you, but
Yes,
it's still
exactly.
the right decision.
Just
and
take
you will
care of
be
yourself.
happier for
Self-care,
sure.
you guys.
So it's all gonna be
Self-care.
okay, don't worry.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you for your support.
How about you? How's your love life?
Oh, my love life. Well, I had some dates, but didn't meet
It's a
anyone
dating
special
training
yet.
simulator for
Okay.
Okay.
pickup artists.
Correct. That's the
Oh,
right
that
option.
was yours.
Yeah, Laura
guess you
has
haven't
just
been
like the
home
most wonderfully
crying all
pained
day, right?
expression
You've
on
been
her
doing
face
things
right
to
now.
distract yourself.
Yeah,
No, of course not.
yeah.
Just trying to distract myself. I finally had my yoga.
Laura,
That's
please,
nice. relax
Laura,
your hands.
please just
Meeting
escape
my
now.
friends
Like,
for
don't
coffee.
be
Friends I
here for
haven't seen
this.
for ages who
It's really
barely have time
bad.
for you.
Yeah.
And shopping.
You were shopping. That's like the common one, right? Women when they
Probably,
wanna
yes. I
feel
was
better, go
laughing
shopping.
And we
at
got
that.
another. Anyway, how's your
It
sex
really
life?
works, you know. In fact, I got this dress. Tell me if you like
show
it.
me.
Here.
I mean,
Shopping.
Blue is your color, probably. So
Women,
gold,
be
yeah.
shopping.
it's clearly
Is she
blue.
wearing? Oh, for a
And
hot
it's
second, I thought she was wearing the same shoes that stripper was in the bed, but no, they're not. Those ones have black soles.
I would actually really love it if they were like if it was. I kind of
They're-
want this to be that bad, like to be just that extra little bit bad, where, you know, they're clearly just wearing the same shoes. It's like this is our wardrobe. We have 4 dresses.
Oh, they just
Sure.
made it. They just made it. Is the dress black and blue or gold and white joke?
Because
She
nothing
just-
is going to nothing is going to last longer
Yeah.
than the cultural zeitgeist than
Yeah.
whether the dress is blue or white.
So we now know
Exactly.
exactly what week this was written in.
Yep, it's just that 1 week.
Wait, why is E censored as well? Like it's clearly jizz.
And
but
they said jizz earlier too.
we had a like 30-minute scene where he explained against all protests how he and his buds want to like come all over her face. Why are we coy now?
Because now it's romantic.
Ladies love asterisks.
Because now it's serious. Incidentally, fun trivia part, this looks like it's being filmed in a hotel room. That evidently is actually Richard's house.
Oh.
That and the bedroom that we see with the paid models who are looking bored out of their mind is all apparently his actual house.
So porn production rules then.
Yep. Also, he has the same interior designer as a hotel. As a hotel, yes, thank you. Wrong time. Same interior designer as a Holiday Inn. Now, the really sad thing is these are all kind of bad answers.
God.
The only real question...
Wait, is he saying he'd love to what on jizz on a dress like that?
Clearly jizz.
Yeah.
Fuck on a dress like that? No. Why would he? Now he already talked about how Mahmoud wants to jizz on her, so obviously that answer should be Mahmoud would love to jizz on that dress. Like I don't know why now it's him.
Well, because remember the full explanation of
it wasn't
Mahmoud
just Mahmoud; it was all of his friends.
All of my
right.
Together at the same time, like just three of us right next to each other.
I feel like
they want to play the human version of Soggy Biscuit.
I feel like, oh God, no.
It was a very long conversation.
Oh God.
And that was the exact moment that Crystal's soul left her body.
Seriously, it's gone. It's gone forever. I'm officially dead inside. I feel like A is A. I like that A is like if you weren't friends, so it's like we have to break up as friends before I will fuck you. Like.
Yeah, this is the ever classic. Trying to have your cake and fuck it too.
Yep.
Yeah, if you were in a dress like that, I'd probably want to make.
So C is going to be wrong because he's going to be like, "Hey, leave that line in the '80s where it belongs."
No, if I wasn't your friend,
he's just it's like that line's too
I was looking for a girl.
Oh no, let's try it. I bet it's at least a half right.
Moves, then I would make a move on you.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, it's a nice dress.
In his minor, tiny sliver of defense, he has been shutting down like the super forward, like just straight up like.
You've kissed a girl. Really, in most cases it fails.
So tell me about that girl.
The dumbass foot and mouth answers.
You had a couple of dates.
Rebecca.
Wait, what?
We had a nice.
What is he even saying now?
But then,
why did he just say if I wasn't too scared to make moves, then I would hit on you?
No, she didn't reply.
I was right. It was a half right answer.
She died or is in hospital or lost her phone or something like this.
The reason for that is because you're too awkward.
Awkward? Me?
Yes. You don't have social skills at all.
Wait, did he just say that in most cases being too forward sexually before you've kissed fails?
Yep. The thing that I love is that if you get a half-right answer, you don't get a chance to go back and play it, and I say love with air
maybe
quotes.
She died!
Wait, tickle her.
Also, I just like the fact that she straight up calls him out. You're awkward. You have no social skills. What the hell is wrong with you? This is why women don't like you.
Yeah, I wonder why someone doesn't like you when you just blurt out in public at the coffee shop that you like looking at that lady's fanny and your friend Mahmoud and you want to jizz on her face together. I wonder why someone would call you awkward and say that you have no social skills. The funny thing is that you know that he implied that to mean like, oh, like you're like those answers aside, like that's not part of it. You're awkward. You don't know how to hit on women, right?
I just want to point out that C, we're starting to get vocabulary in there. We're getting the pickup artist language. Tell her a story to show your value.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing though. So like being a quote high value person is actually like legitimate advice. It doesn't the way that they try to explain being high value within the context of the game
is completely
usually
off. Yeah.
bad. Yeah. Like being high value in real, like in actuality, when you are looking for a partner is legitimate. But the way you do that is by like working on
Being
yourself.
emotionally available.
Yeah. Being emotionally available, working on yourself, pursuing your own interests and hobbies. And like, you know what I mean? Like
literally having something going for you outside of your work, going home, playing video games, watching live streams. I don't know. Okay, maybe not watching live streams.
Supporting them in their interests.
Yeah.
I would have
being a friend.
I would have cried if you had just said like, yeah, like maybe doing and then just everybody left the stream was just like, oh, okay, we're gonna go out and like become otherwise high value. Bye.
Capellan Citizen, problem, my hobbies suck and nobody likes them. You're not doing hobbies for other people, dude. You're doing them because they give you passion. You're doing them because you like them. If
you can find a way to make any of your hobbies social, also, that actually is a legitimate way to like meet new people. And you can't always go into it with the idea of like, oh, I'm gonna meet my partner at this minis painting class.
Now,
it's like,
caveat.
But like make some friends.
If your hobbies are actually things like dropping garbage off the overpass or throwing rocks at neighborhood
That's not a hobby, Dan.
Your hobbies do suck and nobody likes them for a reason.
That is a pastime, but that is not a hobby.
Considering we actually had someone doing that in Austin, that's less of a pastime and more of a calling, apparently.
So like, I'm not gonna say that like, okay, all hobbies are some, okay, there's a few hobbies out there that are actually invalid, but excluding those.
Right. Okay. Sure. I'll take that.
Working from the assumption that you're not throwing rocks at cats or lighting the neighbor's trash cans on fire.
Shit posting is not a hobby.
I still disagree that is a hobby.
I don't know. There's probably forums about like dropping garbage off of overpasses and like.
Yeah, there probably is. There's a Reddit. There's a Reddit for that. There's a subreddit for that.
If there's not a 4chan, there's definitely an 8chan one for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
Now, the question here is: do we want to do C or do we want to do A? Because one of those, they're both going to be kind of horrifying. But it's just a question of which direction of horrifying are we going to go.
C is going to be horrifying, but also the correct answer.
Right, so C.
Tickle her. I want to see Tickle her because it's going to be like, it's going to abort, and I just want to see how quickly they do it. Like, he's going to like reach in. Because the blocking.
I'm okay with that.
The acting, the blocking is like so awkward in this that he's just going to like reach forward and she's going to like move her arms and then the scene's going to end.
I feel like there's an editing video coming for this game.
Dan,
it's like how to shoot an FMV in a single day.
He's awkward now. Eh?
He's got Dan's got the lukewarm defense series, but this one will be an impassioned
to be with someone so awkward.
Attack against.
This is actually a very good way to escalate things because
do it. Tickle her, and then we'll do the right one.
It should be accepted by most girls. They should be fine with it, but it allows you to get a little bit into
the thing. The thing is.
So tell me, have you got anything nice to look forward to?
Oh my god!
First of all,
it hasn't.
Oh my god!
It stopped being live. No, I don't want to miss this terrible moment.
Oh.
Hope so.
Catch up.
Excellent.
And then when I'm coming back, I'm starting my
I missed it, you guys. I'm really sad.
Crystal.
It was the right answer.
Crystal, guess what? Guess how many hearts we got before start a tickle fight.
Oh my god, are you serious? Was it a half fucking right answer?
Nope.
The third toast, you need to drink it all.
Was it the right answer?
In my family.
Yes.
What?
Yes, the answer that would be correct when you're like 14 is.
Come on. What's that?
Is
useless. I have to do it, but it's only
Now that
because
said,
it's
like if you
my
do happen to
family
be 14,
tradition,
like
you
starting
know?
a tickle fight
Not
is
because-
like not necessarily
You're
the
not
wrong
nervous
answer.
or something?
No, of course not.
I
but
mean,
just for
it's not
tradition.
necessarily the right one either.
It's- that's a very situational move.
And
You know
also
what?
relationship
You know
move.
what?
If
Now
you
that
don't
I-
have
now that
tickle
I-
privileges.
Now that I think about it, though, like going into tickle a girl is very infantilizing, and that totally fits in with the game. So, especially seeing the way she reacted, and she was like, like it's like, okay, yeah, like I can see why they would have thought. The problem is that like some of these things, you read them and it doesn't. Okay, so like the one where we were like, oh yeah, say that you would hit on her if you would fuck her in that dress if you weren't friends, and then so you think the implication is one thing, but when he starts talking, he says something like, when he was then when he starts talking, he's all, oh yeah, yeah, like if I didn't know you and like had any confidence and could actually hit on women and I saw you in that dress, it's like, whoa, buddy. That's not what that option implied you were gonna say at all. So it's like hard to guess what the hell the right answer is, because they never, like the little mini choice things don't accurately describe like the tone of what you're gonna say. They need to have like an emotion attached.
Yeah, it's the LA Noir thing. The answers that you're given are not the ones that play out. So sometimes it's just a case of like, tickle her, and all of a sudden you put your hand through her thigh.
Yeah, just like okay, and you go just like it's like tickle her. The option is actually like you're trying to like tickle her clit. Like you just try to directly shove your hand in her skirt. It's like, whoa, that's not what I thought that option was.
Now, with the current questions of she was just talking, and the game makes it kind of clear it doesn't matter because she's going back to Russia. She's going to go visit family. She's going to do things for herself. Richard is clearly not listening. So now we're at the moment of how do you go for the kiss?
I mean, okay, so tickling was the right answer. So obviously it's play fight and then just kiss her. Just like do it.
The one thing I do want to say is that B is actually a really common thing. In fact, it is one that I have used in times where it's a way of asking for a kiss, where it said, do you look like you want to kiss me? And if she says yes, then we kiss. If she says no, then say, I didn't say you could. I just said you look like it.
Or
like
if she's like, no. Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell right there. That's the butt stuff
principle. You can say that you were joking if she reacts negatively.
Yeah, Ferk has a good point. B can't possibly be the right answer because it kind of asks what she might want.
Very accurate. Where is the lie? Oh my god. It's obviously C.
All right, everybody, we're doing C.
I'm gonna miss you when you're away.
This game.
You know that? I'm gonna miss you.
I'm really upset that you brought this into my life. I didn't know it existed before today, and I had blissfully existed in a world where this wasn't a thing.
This is another nice way to escalate.
So
Again,
I'm actually blaming Dan because Dan introduced us. So like this is not on you.
When the girl is relaxed,
Dan, this is all your
smiling,
fault.
and you're in this playful kind of situation.
Just so you know, just so you're aware.
Now, the really sad thing is being on a delay means that I'm never entirely sure quite where you guys have gotten to.
Oh yeah.
But this
We're
one,
at the next question yet. That one, yeah. Okay.
The fact that this was a right answer is just what the fuck.
Tell her you've been wanting to do that for years. Say this is weird, then kiss again. Oh God, I've ruined the friendship. Leave room.
God.
C shows remorse and self-awareness.
So
that's out. A, depending on line delivery, might be like desperate, like admitting desperation.
See, this is the part where you start thinking, okay, think like Richard. What would this
Think like
be?
Richard. Yeah. How is Richard going to say this?
Right.
Now, the problem
Oh,
is
man.
I'm there's that temptation to pick C to see what the trash fire is going to be, but also you don't know how long that's going to take.
Yeah, the trash fires range from like super short, like disappointingly short, to unnervingly long.
Pretty
Amy
exciting.
right now, Amy Cat demands attention and she keeps clawing at my knee. She's just sitting under my chair.
She's like, excuse me.
Well, we've got something in common then, because Mr. Senior Kitty is also demanding attention.
Aww.
Hey, everybody. Wave at the camera.
All right.
Kitty.
All right, Crystal, which one are we doing?
Yep, this one's on you. This is all on you.
Oh man, I kind of just want to see him be like, "Oh God, I have soiled our friendship garden," and like go running out of the room crying.
Friendship garden.
Friendship.
I want this one to just like splinter into an entire short film where he like runs out into the woods, strips naked, and like grabs a thorny branch and starts like whipping himself, and it just really goes like strange places.
It's not gonna, but that would be entertaining.
Yeah, it would be amazing. It was just like, oh God, I ruined everything, and just runs out the window.
just like goes.
Batman's
flying.
out. Batman's out. Drops a smoke bomb. Smoke clears. He's gone.
But I mean, that would involve a third camera setup, so
Yeah. Oops.
that's not happening.
Definitely not gonna happen.
The other thing I love the weird voyeuristic camera view they've got for this, so it feels like you're peeking in at them.
Yeah, it's great. It also keeps the other two cameras out of sight. So
Perfect.
it really it works for everybody.
Such good times.
Yep. Now it's just a question: do you say that's been wanting to do that for years, or do you say this is weird?
And then kiss her again.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, I feel like just continuing to try making out with her is just a great plan.
So B.
This is so weird. We shouldn't do this.
You know, there is something to be said about this allowing me to vicariously live out my fantasies of seeing what it's really like being just like a pickup artist.
This is a bit of
just like being this bad at communicating
the possible objection
without actually
is that
ruining my
she
own
becomes
life.
uncomfortable. She remembers
You could have just played Leisure Suit Larry and gotten so much of the same
if
thing.
You're the one to voice this concern.
I mean,
then she's likely to take the
I guess I
opposite
could have.
tack. So it's the right choice.
I mean, Leisure
Very
Suit
smart.
Larry's like
Bunch of
antics just
psychology
as
at work
often
here,
got him,
and it
you
works
know,
very well in practice.
like tied up in a volcano
Or occasionally super murdered.
or super like basic like, you know, he would either get super murdered or like humiliated. So if it went well, he would get humiliated. If it went poorly, he would get super murdered. I really liked the first couple games.
I never
I was
played
also
any of
like
those.
9. So
I was also like 9.
so the age block on the old DOS Leisure Suit Larry games, they would ask you like pop culture questions. Like,
Because clearly nobody would be old enough to get those questions.
Yeah, like you had to be, it was the kind of questions where it's like, all right, you know, if you were over 18, you probably knew the answers to them. So it was basically just pop culture questions from like the late 70s. Yeah, me and my brothers learned how an encyclopedia works, and yeah.
See, I just cheated because it
And
turned
then
out there was a
magic.
code. If you hit Control X, you got to skip the entire thing and got 100%.
Oh, perfect.
I knew all the answers too, just through sheer trial and error, being a nerdy kid, but also found that.
You could also just try, just use a piece of paper and like trial and error the right answer, because there was only like 20 questions that it would ask you four or five, but the pool of total questions was only like 20 or something like that. So
Blade says, I would pay to see Dr. Nerdlove play through the entire Leisure Suit Larry series.
there's like 80 games.
Yeah, there's 80 of them, and a couple of them are truly awful, especially the later, like, magna cum laude ones, or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
So, if you want to see that happen, kick my Patreon up to 600 and we'll talk.
Yeah, so there's a dual problem there.
The nudity?
The earlier ones are actually like okay as adventure games, but they also get like frequently
Insanely
homophobic,
racist.
transphobic, racist.
Yeah.
And the later ones dial that back, but are just unbearably bad.
Yeah, it's a very much a product of the 80s with everything that implies, and it's kind of horrifying in sometimes. Not to mention there's also like a lot of making fun of sex workers, there's making fun of trans people. It makes fun of everybody, and not in that haha we are an iconoclast and we take nothing serious way, but in that no, this is actually kind of awful and we're making fun of marginalized people way.
Yeah, that's always fun.
All right, so time for the big move. Do you act like a reasonable person, tell her you want to take it slow and get dinner tomorrow, or do you go for it?
Oh man. Well,
We could just make out on the couch.
it depends. It depends, I guess.
Our goal was sex.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so okay, so I
Now it's
there's like
the question.
there's another sect of like game people who use PUA stuff to like get the date, like get the chance to like actually chat with someone, and then there's the people who use it for sex. And obviously this dude is the sex guy, so I mean obviously go for the sex, and then just you're gonna abandon her after, obviously. That's
So the question is, do we just keep making out on the couch and hope it happens here, or ask if she wants to move to the bedroom, leaving her a window of escape?
No, here's the thing. Obviously, this guy is cocky enough to think that if you ask her to move to the bedroom after you've plied her with a bunch of wine and made out with her, that she's gonna be just like so aroused and ready that she'll be easily manipulated into the bedroom.
Don't forget the gift tree. Don't forget the tree.
No, that
We
was
gave her a tree.
Wait, was that no? That was wrong though.
We
Or
got
was
No,
that
that was
right?
that was some
Oh,
right.
okay, so that stuck. So that is part of the timeline. That is true.
In this timeline, we gave her a tree that she will take home someday.
Someday.
Yeah, and then you have to ask yourself, okay, but if you ask her, then she's got a chance to say no. Whereas if you just keep making out with her, she'll get her so aroused so that then she will become, like, decide to take it to the next level herself. And then all the times he's talked about using psychological trickery, like saying, oh, this was weird, and then kissing her again, because then she's going to instinctively react opposite to what you just said, because that's a thing.
Right.
So I can see A and C going either way, just given the logic here. So like keep making out with her, I can see being like a wrong answer or a half answer of like, you're just gonna end up like necking on the couch for like 20 minutes and then she's gonna go home.
Yeah, this is one of those
you're a garbage person who can't accept that, like, hey man, necking with someone on the couch for 20 minutes is a pretty okay deal.
Yeah. This is one of those, like I was saying before, this is one of those weird, like, you don't know what he means by the prompt, and also like because it could, you could click keep making out with her, and then what he really does is like just like start licking her face, like I don't know.
Or he just goes to another room and says, let me introduce you to my friend, Fister Roboto.
Okay, here's the thing. I vote that we try to get her to go upstairs, because if it is the wrong answer, then we can still go back to just making out, because it will just not exist in this timeline.
Right.
And if it's the right answer, then we win. We win because we get to have sex.
This has just turned into a weird crossover with Into the Breach.
Classic.
We move this to the bedroom. Yeah?
It's too late. I better be
Oh, I
going.
don't need... Okay.
Yeah,
Alright,
A is
I'll see
either
you
going
up.
to dead end or be the right answer.
Right. So like, we have literally nothing to lose. Either we
Not
win
very
or
smooth
we get to go
and
back and make
wrong
out,
timing.
and then that's the right answer.
Yeah, there we go. Dead end. Is she's like, I'm gonna go home instead.
So obviously it's keep making out with her. Once again,
Yeah.
trying to figure out his thought process through this when really the right answer would be D, because rushing it is how you ensure that it's not going to happen.
This
Yep.
is the right choice. You kind of want to find a balance between moving really fast and aggressively to kind of being too slow, right? So carry on, escalate things slowly, let her get comfortable and used to the fact, and also get her more turned on.
This is the right move.
Do you have a condom?
I like that he lets you know. He's like, "Good job, guy. Great job. You're doing good."
Oh. Oh.
Why are all of these like literally none of? Oh no, I'm sorry. There is one. Yes, I have one right here. Why are four? Okay, so there being 4 out of 5 of these being let's not wear a condom is so horrifying to me. Like just absolutely horrifying.
And yet, these are all things he has probably said at one point or another.
I
The
am
funny thing
terrified
is,
that one of these is going to be like a half. It's going to be a half heart.
Because like I could see if you say C, then either you get a half heart because she says no, I insist, and then you grudgingly put one on anyway.
okay, so here's
Capellan
Here's
Citizen is
one.
asking to pick all of the ones that aren't E just to see if any are half right. I don't think we have that kind of time or sanity. This
Oh
is
my
like
God,
Call of
okay.
Cthulhu. There is only so long before we bleed through our eyes.
Here's the thing. So even if okay, so if I was this woman and even if I had sat through all of his ridiculous shit about his friend wanting to jizz on my face and his fucking kumquat tree and like all this other and all these terrible moves, if I got to this point and a guy was like, I don't have condoms, I'd be like, hard stop. Like, especially if he said, do you have AIDS or something? I'd be like, wow, get the fuck out. I didn't even care if this is your house.
It's
Like-
mine now.
Like, leave. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I need to see what he thinks a woman's reaction would be to being accused of having AIDS for wanting to wear a condom.
Yeah.
I need
gotta
to
know.
see what he
I
thinks.
need to peer into
what
this
he thinks the
darkness.
reaction is.
All right, everybody, it's time to
I'm so
embrace the
sorry,
horror.
everyone. But I need to see what he thinks the answer is. Like
Open-
just like how I
Why, you
needed
have
to
some-
see.
Open this portal to the
AIDS or
abyss and
some-
gaze within.
I'm not
Oh
syphilis.
my god.
Oh,
It will
that's
gaze
ridiculous.
back at
This is
you,
funny,
Dan.
it's not
It's
bad,
like the
I'm like,
lions
doesn't
of
do anything to me.
Savo. Look into
Always
its eyes and
practice
no fear.
safe sex.
Do you have some like AIDS?
Oh no, not the syphilis.
Always. Okay, I think all of these are just going to replay that. Like, I would hope.
Whoa, wait. No, listen. Did you? He literally his answer was always practice safe sex. Hard
So-
stop.
Yeah,
Like that
hard
was
stop.
his
So I am
response.
hoping- yeah,
It was
so I'm
a hard
hoping
stop,
that
and
all of these
also-
A, B, C, and D are going to just play that video clip.
I
That is
love
my hope.
I love the fact that they had to just do the emphasis edit from every angle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, target audience. Here's how little we think of you.
Okay, Sorry, we
Oh
have to
no,
do
I
this
don't
one.
have one, but maybe I could just put it in a little bit.
Oh, no,
just
no.
a little bit.
It's ridiculous.
And then I just finish like somewhere else. Where do you want it? Like,
But can we just put the
Just
tip
put
in?
just the tip.
you
but
just
maybe you
the
could
tip?
just
All right.
Maybe I could just put the tip
No,
in.
I don't like this idea.
Just
Okay, you blew it, but hopefully you'll get another.
you just said in her hair. Oh.
She's entirely too tolerant of all of this.
Okay, obviously it's yes, I have one then.
Yeah.
I was hoping
yeah.
it would be always cut practice, cut safe, cut sus.
Yeah.
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 You know what? From now on, instead of putting the clap emoji between emphasized words, I'm gonna put like a little clapboard or a camera, just because I want the emphasis cut. Always practice safe sex, except it's a cut. It's a cut every time.
Yeah, of course I've got one. Got one right here. My shoe.
Prepared.
Yeah, my mum
I'm
told me.
tweeting that right now.
Now you don't want to break the action and the mood, so to speak. So make sure that you've got some strategic placements around the house, so that you don't need to go far, or even worse, run down to the store to buy something.
The strategic placement is in his shoe. He's not even
Great.
wearing socks.
What the fuck? I don't understand what world this guy lives in, that's like his logical concept
Yeah, of course.
of like how things work.
Wait, sorry. I tabbed
go.
away briefly because I got a message.
He was keeping
Is-
the condom in his shoe
in his
without
shoe?
socks on.
In his what?
Okay, do I use the film strip emoji or the camera emoji?
I think it has to be the camera emoji.
Okay.
But no, he said, sure, I have one. It's right here. He reaches down and pulls it out. Well, he mimes pulling one out of his shoe because he doesn't actually take anything out.
Wow. Just wow.
And then on top of everything else, the look on her face afterwards is like, this is someone who is so incredibly bored.
B is the correct answer.
I'm kind of hoping
C
A
is
goes.
pretty funny.
I'm hoping that A runs back to him just running out the room again.
I like the subtle world building of having his mom give him tips on where to keep condoms.
That's strange. I don't know about this. It might ruin our friendship. Wow, okay. I really want you to tell her that her friendship for 5 years was agonizing and has just now paid off.
Sorry about all the crying.
Yeah, is this post-coital?
Finally, God.
Yep,
All
they
that
had
is
sex.
Okay.
You see him adjusting his belt.
I definitely need you to just rub it in and be like, yeah, friendship over. I finally fucked you. Success. And then like I win, and then just like leap out the window.
All those years of friendship. Oh, boring.
That's one of those moments,
Shit.
wasn't it, where
Get
she's
in
better
there.
not to say exactly what you were thinking.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
finally
that's
getting this.
exactly what I did. And she goes somewhere. All right, man. Just like lean back and like interlock your fingers, and then get a high five from yourself as narrator. Those are the same person, right?
Oh yeah, it's just like down the line. Like years almost, it seems, because there's so much hair and beard growth between the two.
I feel like that's strange. I don't know about this. It might ruin our friendship. Is the kind of playful flirt that's actually legit. Like, oh man, I don't know. Now that we're sleeping together, like that might change our friendship. Tease, tease. But also, who knows what this fucking like absolute idiot, just complete imbecile would actually say.
He's gonna start like hitting himself and.
Yeah, we're back to the running out to the woods with a thorny branch and just flogging.
Yeah.
I vote A. I want to see
it's
A.
amazing,
It's
but
got to at least be a half
Do you
one,
think
right?
it'll ruin our friendship?
Like, oh, maybe not every one of these has like a half right answer, I guess.
This
What?
is psychology at work here. You're the one that voices the concern so that she's
I'm
going to
looking
present
forward
the other argument, and that stops her
to the
going
surprise
home
that's
thinking,
coming.
Oh, I'm not sure about this. Actually, it's bad. Maybe we shouldn't do it. And texting you that she doesn't want to carry on
okay.
any kind of romantic
All right.
relationship. So it's the right choice.
All right.
What just happened? I
So
was
be it.
right.
So be it.
Sometimes we need to say no, and these girls that put you in the
Yeah, once again, his idea of women seem to be like the Republicans in the Obama Key and Peele sketches, where they will do literally whatever it is he's just said.
Yeah.
like, So, I guess I'm just gonna have to cut taxes for all the corporations. We're against it. All right, you forced my hand.
Just gotta be the opposite.
And here's the part that's really kind of almost infuriating. Is like, now you get to watch a supercut of all the advice you just went through.
Yeah, what the
friend
hell?
zone.
Joy.
Always ask favors.
Yeah, let's get
It's so
away
you
from
can
that.
review and study and do better, obviously.
Now, we've got about 20 minutes or so left in this. We have a couple of options. We can go through and try a couple more of them, such as dance floor or girls sitting in a coffee shop, if you're all interested in this one.
Okay, what is it? So coffee shop and then what?
There's club dance floor, then first dates, direct day game, wingman, and office.
Oh god. Oh man. Oh. Ooh. I don't know, Dan. We're probably only gonna do one more. Like I feel like
We only got 20 minutes.
it's up to you. I'm gonna let you make the choice. I'm gonna let you make the call.
Oh, I don't know. They all sound horrifying. Like just bottomless wells of.
I will tell you, the office one is boring as hell.
I bet. Like this, they really just strike me as like it's gonna be a lot of bad advice that's like occasionally right for the wrong reasons. Because that's usually how these go. I don't know, a girl sitting in coffee shop.
Perfect. Good. That's it. Done. Go for
Because
it.
girl sitting in coffee, like the answer is 900 times out of 901. Don't. Just leave her alone.
So the goal is to get her phone number. In your local coffee shop, a pretty blonde lady is sitting and reading. Can you make yourself more interesting than the book and get her number?
Oh, she's reading. Oh no. Oh, you're interrupting.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Well, yeah, obviously she's at a coffee shop alone. She's obviously there like to. If you go to a coffee shop alone and you sit down to drink your coffee, anyone is interrupting you. Like if you don't take it to go, right? And you stay and you're by yourself, you're there for like you're writing, you're reading, you're studying. Like you're obviously there for you're staring pensively out a window at like raindrops because you're in like Williamsburg. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
Once again,
there for a
oddly
reason.
specific.
You're there for a reason, okay?
Spoil the book. E. No, let's try. Let's actually try and get the right answers.
Okay.
Oh
in
yeah,
that
we
mindset.
should try to think like him and get them right. Unless there's I cannot guarantee that if there's something so absurd that I need to see
All right,
the
so
answer.
we're going to try to critical path this.
We're gonna try to critical
Yes.
path this, and I think critical path. Oh, A. It's A.
All right. Here we go.
Excuse me.
Okay,
Are you
I will
using
go
this
with
chair?
it.
Oh, great. I'll just join you then.
Okay,
How's it going?
that's all right. How are you?
Good. My name's Richard.
Richard, Brenda.
Like, normally I would say that the staying standing would be like, oh, this is like
I help you?
a place of dominance
Well,
and like
that would
power.
depend.
You should
Okay.
totally do
No, I'm
that.
joking.
But
No,
at the
just
same
put
time,
you
I
in
also
now.
feel like they'd be like,
It's
yeah,
fine.
but you could scare
So
her
I'm
off
ready
if
to
you
have a few minutes
standing by her
before
like a
friends
creeper.
come.
So you should sit down as soon as possible.
Yeah,
This is
inject
the right
yourself,
option.
introduce.
It will work if
Yeah,
you pull
okay,
it off
so
with, a
we've
bit of a smirk,
we've just
playfulness. So if
interrupted
it
her
suits your
day
character, this will work
pretty
as a way
thoroughly.
to
She's
start a
trying
conversation in the
She's trying to
coffee shop.
fucking read a book and
Really,
beat a big dick.
Yeah.
Evidently, we're going to watch this over again from the thumbnail. That okay. But now the question is, do you make the sucker move of trying to find out about her, say that her hair is kind of nice, then inviting her back to your house, use books as a way to show off, or ask whether she comes here often?
Oh God.
Oh. Okay,
Definitely
C is
not-
obviously a wrong answer.
Definitely not come here often though either.
Um.
I feel like you don't care about her.
Yeah,
I feel like use books as I also think though that C saying her hair is kind of nice, like saying something is kind of nice, is like in that game nagging territory. So but also direct invitation back to your house is a little forward. So I feel like
It's a little early for that.
I feel like
Yeah.
Dan, you saying B, use books.
I think
Well, there's also
use
the
books as a way
possibility.
to show off, but the fact that it has framed it as showing off, and so far the questions in this game have avoided language like that. Like that in a lot of PUA mentality, like just the idea of showing off is itself desperation, which kind of is actually like accurate. It's
100%
right for
true.
yeah, it's one of those like right for the wrong reasons sort of things. Find out about her, because I think in this context they mean harvest information.
Yeah. The other thing is that's really kind of frightening is you could see plausibly that D is being told like, yeah, well, if you do this with a smirk and acknowledge that it's a cheesy line, then clearly this can work.
Yeah, that's the other thing with D, is that it's going to come down to whether or not they think in this specific moment that's tacky, or if it's like, hey, you can actually sell a tacky line because everybody knows it.
Right. Again, it's one of those situations where it's like I look at these like little prompt options and don't know what this absolute idiot's gonna say.
Yeah,
that like has nothing to do with the prompt option.
I think A is the right answer in this case.
Yeah.
And you normally
Go for it. Let's do A.
No.
Let's try it.
I mean, I think, well, in every book there's a little philosophy. I'm not a huge Kafka fan. I was just in Prague recently.
He's from Czech Republic. Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
that's where his house is.
I didn't know actually.
Yeah.
This is the first time
Well, if
they've
you go
actually
to
gotten someone who can
Hilltop
act.
Kafka, so.
Nice. And what else do you like to read? Do you like
I generally read
fiction, non-fiction?
fiction and like 20th century American lit,
Okay. Who's that? Mark Twain or something?
like Salinger, or maybe I just recently read a novella called A Day No Pigs Would Die. It's really
A Day
nice.
No Pigs Would Die.
Yeah.
That's like when everyone's vegetarian or Muslim.
I thought he was gonna be like, do you like
I won't
porn?
spoil it.
Like, is
but
that
you're on the right track.
Oh yeah.
who's
Fine.
that?
Yeah,
Mark
what do you
Twain or something?
I read a lot of different stuff. So I like business, biography, psychology.
Just make yourself that little bit more insufferable to ensure
philosophy too,
that she talks
and I
smack about
like
you on
old
Twitter later.
English classics and Russian classics.
Russian classics such as
And also, yes,
Tolstoy,
Jada caught it.
Dostoevsky.
Salinger, prolific author.
You like
all the
Tolstoy?
usual stuff. Yeah, I think he's a great writer. And obviously in translation maybe it's different.
and really,
it's still very cool.
I mean,
about
you know, Salinger
Yeah,
is
Martin
more
Margaret.
of
Yeah.
like
yeah, cool.
Richard Speed
like
as an
Russian lit.
author.
Nice one.
Yeah, he's not exactly the most complicated of books.
This guy
Yeah, I
has
guess
never
so,
read
yeah.
Dostoevsky in his life.
He has read the
Correct.
word Dostoevsky
It's
before.
important to
However, he actually does manage to recognize the
focus
author
the
of Master and
conversation
Margarita,
on the
which
girl
is
as much as
not
possible,
exactly a
because
deep
then
cut,
it's just gonna
but
be more
definitely not
interesting
something you
for
would
her.
expect from this.
I love that
How
book.
are you able to be free in the middle of the morning on a Thursday?
Well, I do have a job, but it's kind of from the laptop, from home, or from anywhere. But it's like internet stuff, and with America, so in Europe, I need to wait until they wake up and whatever. So
Right.
I'm kind of free, and then can be working.
This is the first time someone actually gets real. How the hell are you just wandering around?
Oh, I'm supported by my fans on the YouTube. I make a YouTube channel talking about like feminism and how like women today they're all beaches and
Lying in bed.
like stuff like that.
Lying
And
down, working.
I do
That's what
pretty
I do.
well. So I
That's
also
cool.
do
And how
like
about you? How come you're
Skype
work?
things
Well,
where I
I work at the
I
university,
help
so I
guys
have kind of
like get
an unusual
dates so
schedule.
they
I
can
have
get
some free time during the day,
laid.
and I work in the
I'm
evening.
starting to
then
feel
also-
attacked here.
Nice.
Yeah.
How about you? How come you're not at work? Well, I just work at the university.
I wait. So hers is like I work in the evening. So she's just sitting in a air quote coffee shop in the middle of the day wearing a very fancy dress.
What, you don't dress up to go to a coffee shop in Europe?
Um, I I feel like I don't usually wear a $500 strapless evening evening
Look,
dress
Dan,
to
we know you
to the
save your
coffee shop.
evening dresses for when you're alone and everyone's out except for Amy, and you put on your drag shows for her. Okay, we know that you don't wear them out in public. So,
Okay.
like, this is obviously
Yeah. It's just for me, just for me.
just for Amy. Really, it's just
yeah.
for Amy.
AB, all of these suck.
I think that it's C though.
I think it's C. I do think it's C.
Yeah. Oliver G in the chat has a very good comment. This guy's supposed to be a smooth talker, but he has this really rambling, mumbly way of talking that's aggressively boring.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that I've noticed in this. And this is, if you pay attention to the woman's reactions in this, she is interacting with him as though she is at a job interview, not like she's attracted to him. Spoiler alert.
Because his questions are like
No,
a job interview.
I think he's playing. I think he's quote playing the like awkward dude he's trying to help in this because.
But
I
he's
mean, he's
just
a,
as
he's a
mumbly in
little-
the answers afterwards.
Yeah, he's a little mumbly in his answers. He's less rambling though.
All right, so we're
Well,
which
I
one
mean, they're
are we?
clearly, they're clearly improving.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So which will we go
So,
with? Are we going to go with?
I think it's C.
Yeah, I vote C.
So you teach at the university. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And tell me, do you actually like what you do, or you do it just for money?
No, I
I
really
found
do
my
like what I do.
Pringles.
So the fact that he is about to ask her, does she like what she's doing, or does she do it for the money,
Great.
from
You
a
feel like you're making a
university
difference in
professor,
people's lives.
is the
Yeah,
stupidest
I
question
actually do.
imaginable,
Honestly.
though.
And we
Yeah,
don't even
what I
know
do
she's
is
a professor
important
though.
and
She
that
just said she works for the university. She could be like a
The
janitor.
information I convey will
You
be
don't
valuable
know.
to these people and to my students.
That could be true because I still remember.
I'm
my
actually
teachers
the
from
network
primary
sysadmin.
school and, in secondary school, I don't know if you're the same, but did you like the subjects most?
Now,
or the
now that
teachers
you've
most?
mentioned these, do they have the
And
budget
related
only
to
for
maybe
3
when you're
costumes? I'm
interested
going to be
in
looking to
that
see if there's a chance that
Good
she
teacher can
shows
just
the bottom of her
change the
feet,
whole
and they're the
course of
same
someone's
ones
Absolutely.
as the models are
looking
wearing.
back
Uh-huh.
and thinking, what years of school are your favorite? It's like, well, whatever year you had the good teachers, because what you learn is kind of irrelevant.
And you're a good teacher? They like
I think
you?
so. I hope so.
That's
I
cool.
try.
No, I like it. to be
Wow,
honest, because
did you
it's-
like the
it's very rare.
subjects
You know,
where
most
your
people just
teachers
do their
were
job for
good?
money and then they can moan about
I
it and
wonder
all that
why
stuff.
that
But to
is.
meet someone like you who actually enjoys what they do and is
God.
making a difference.
Jaco Jack points out, I'm glad they wore their finest lapel
This is a
mics
nice
to the
thing
coffee
you can
shop.
ask anyone.
Yeah,
So
it's great.
what I'm
Also,
thinking this
her
is
dress
the
doesn't
right
have
option,
pockets, so
and
she
it
has
can
her mic
always
pack
lead
in
to
her
an
lap,
interesting
and
conversation,
you can
whether
usually
she's into
see
a job, she can tell you
the
why
wire.
she's not, and she can tell you something else that she's passionate
Like she
about.
has to move it around a
What's
bunch,
the
and
subject?
there's
What do you teach?
American culture.
Huh, what does that entail?
So kind of quite a few different themes. For example, we kind of started with an overview of American values, which was really interesting.
Like freedom and stuff, yeah?
Things like that, and even more so,
She is
for example,
actually
interesting one is
emoting
how
in
Americans
this
relate
and
to the
putting more
future.
effort into the production,
it's
to
something
her
we feel
acting
like we can
than literally
control in some
everybody else
sense,
in this
and
game.
Like Back to the
She's a
Future.
professional. A job's a job, you
I
know?
don't know what you mean.
Right.
Okay,
You know?
but
I am
Show
willing to
up.
bet if we go through
Show up.
if we were to go into the
Yeah.
behind the scenes stuff, she's the only person who is not a friend of Richard's or dating him.
Like, she and the two models are probably like actually hired. Like the two models sitting on the bed are likely hirees. Like, we're hired out of just a general casting call that it's like, all right, we need two girls. You don't need to do anything. You just need to like sit on this bed and look pretty. And they're like, sure, fine, whatever. Like, okay, a
They
day's a
show
day.
up all over his YouTube page. They're
they
regulars
do?
on there. It is insane. They're like his Palmer girls.
Oh, okay. Well, I retract that then. B is the correct answer.
Challenge her to explain why it's important.
It's one of the logic here is that
Make her
You're
justify
forcing
herself
her.
to you.
You're
it's the
forcing
most
her to prove her.
complicated.
You're forcing her to prove her value.
Not even that. It's the most complicated of the three options. So it's like you're taking a multiple choice exam, and it's like whatever. It's like you've got three that are, you know.
It's like which one of
what's
these?
the-
Which one of these was not a president? And it's three normal sounding names, and then like Sleeve McDykel, and you're like, oh, well, obviously that's the answer.
Yeah.
And like I like that Dan is now metagaming this.
Yeah, no, we have been the whole time. Come on.
Isn't that
I mean, it's a
kind of
multiple
like
choice
small
exam,
things?
and they're really
What do you
bad
teach
at
them,
writing
like,
them. I mean,
here we
multiple
invented
choice
the
exams are
hamburger
hard
and
to
learned
write
from
well
it.
at the best of times.
Well, there really isn't a
And so
question
you
of
take someone
whether
who's just like
we
slapping
have
it together in
culture.
an
We certainly
afternoon.
do.
You're gonna get with one.
Back to
You're
history,
gonna
and yes,
frequently
maybe
get
art doesn't as
questions
well,
where it's
but
like
Yes,
one
yeah.
answer
Yeah, but to say that
so obviously
American
stands out
culture doesn't
because of
exist,
its like
to
complexity in
argue
wording.
that Western culture has really had no influence, even in Eastern Europe, let's say.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's some stuff, but
And this again is
wouldn't it
like
be better
right
that they
for the
learn something
wrong
else? Because, like,
reasons,
if you're gonna
because
teach
it's
about
like,
America, teach business
you
and
know,
technology, 'cause what's culture?
like
what's
challenging
genre?
her
Well, for
to
example,
defend
It doesn't even matter who
her
the artists and authors are. What's
profession
important is that
is
we have
a
our own
crappy thing to
perspective on the world,
do.
and that in order to
But
interact successfully with
but
her, you're supposed to be
discussion
able to see
about,
person. If you want to
Yeah,
interact
engaging with her
successfully
with
business
something that
engaging
she
with
clearly
you need to
likes.
understand what their daily life looks like and kind of how they perceive the
This is
environment.
actually
Okay, cool. So it's
the
like
most
when you're learning
legitimate
about business in China and
conversation
you
the
have to,
game
you know,
has
give your
shown so
business card
far.
with 2 hands.
Quite
and-
Like,
literally,
not
yes.
even just her
This is the
acting,
same
but
thing.
like
Got
the
it. Okay, so it's not
choices
really teaching
have been
about
worded
history
kind of
and
lame,
art
but
and
like
No.
they're actually going back and
Okay,
forth.
that's
They're
fine.
talking about
It's very
things that she's
useful because
interested
that's
in.
the American
He's asking her about her
culture,
job
modern
and stuff. It's not like,
culture
hey, my friend, my
what
mood wants to
leads
jizz on
the
your
world, right?
face.
We all
Like,
kind of follow.
yeah, we haven't gotten any
If you can
suggestions like that, and
challenge
it's just like
someone, get
this
them
one is
prove
kind of
themselves
boiling down
you,
to,
and then
hey,
to prove of them.
maybe try to have an authentic conversation with someone.
Yeah, but this is like, I'm willing to bet that some of this is literally because she is the only person working on this production who is not a friend of his, so he can't say, all right, now we're going to talk about the option where I talk about my friends gangbanging you.
Yeah,
Right.
and
That
and
might have
because
been like
she's
a
hired,
hard
she's just
limit
like,
for
no,
her.
Validate
no,
them.
we're not
It
doing
has
that
a
one.
powerful psychological effect. So
Like you
it's the right
can
option,
you
well done.
can say that line, and I
really
am
enjoy
not
my
going to
job,
respond
but
to
there's
it.
this one
I
little
will
thing
just
that's
stare
really
at you, and that
frustrating
is
for
the
me.
footage you will
I
have.
this
Yeah.
problem where I can't print all the copies that I need, but I want my students to all have their own copy to take home. But then I have to go to the printer like every day, and it gets kind of expensive. So what do you think I should do?
Uh-oh.
He's just like,
I wonder if he's gonna tell her that he likes her fanny this time.
This is just that Matrix moment. Were you paying attention to me, or were you looking at the girl in the black dress?
it actually kind of is. Yeah. Did they do something with the audio? Did they like drop it out and go like wah, 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 wah,
A little bit, yeah.
a little bit? they did fade her out a little bit.
They did,
make
but
it
I think
actually
it's
hard.
I think the question is to see whether or not you, as the viewer, are paying attention, or whether you're getting distracted along with in-game Richard.
It's actually kind of sad. Like that's dangerously close to smart.
Yeah, that is just every once in a while you see just moments of what might have been an interesting game in the hands of literally anybody else.
Yeah.
Be honest and say that you were distracted.
Well, I mean, the actual right answer would be you paid enough attention.
His right answer, though, I think, is be honest and say you're distracted because it creates
Because
the
it's
idea
going
that
to-
she's not the only one you're interested in.
Yeah, and it's also going to broach, like, physicality as subject matter.
Right.
So I would flip, like, personally, I'm like coin toss between A and D.
I say D, so that's 2 for D then.
Probably,
Or
yeah,
1.5.
probably D, because that was weirdly the correct answer in Friend to Sex.
Right.
All right, they chose D.
Uh-oh.
Look,
We are going to critical
to be
path this,
honest,
aren't we?
Did you see that girl that just walked by? Yeah, she's gone now, but she had like.
I just want you to know,
Crystal
I'm
eating.
and just
I'm currently dumping the
arse.
broken Pringles into my mouth straight from the can like a
She
fucking
just
Kirby.
looked back and winked at me or something. Like
And I just
smiled,
need
and
you to share in this mental image of me doing that
distracted.
while we play this game about dating.
Give me a second to chill. Hang on.
So attractive, you guys.
So, right, something about work. Yeah, problem at work.
Yeah.
Wow, again,
never
so like,
mind.
you're like, be honest, so like, oh, I'm
That's not
sorry, like,
She
I
was
was
unbelievable.
distracted by that chick. Like, she was cute in that dress, and he's like,
Okay, but that's
oh,
cool.
she just
So
had
problem at
these
work,
like
but otherwise all good.
incredibly long legs, and it was so hot.
The lesson here is that there's one
Give
thing
me a
being
second to let my
honest,
half
which is,
chubby
you know,
go
saying next to
down.
you that
Like,
really
what the,
attracted
like,
me,
Skirt
and then
only went
there's
down to
another when
like
you're going
here,
into all the
you know,
detail
like
and being kind of
just the coochie part of her butt.
You actually saw the crease underneath.
Oh, that was wrong.
girls just aren't ready for
wow,
that.
Being
yeah.
honest, which
Again, though, it was wrong because his idiot
His-
response was not actually what the prompt implied again.
yeah. His idiot response was to like ramble on and on and on
About how hot she was and keep
And how she
talking about
looked
her.
at him and winked, and why didn't you see her? Oh, all right, well, still.
Yeah. Okay, so A.
Yeah.
Ah, well, that's bad. So I guess you don't have enough like papers for students and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of it.
I guess you can ask for more allowance or get them to share, but yeah, it's annoying.
Well done, you weren't distracted by the sexy chick that walked by.
Also,
and
I'm pretty
that's
sure the sexy
something
chick
that,
is the model
you can
behind
use
him.
out there. Well done for paying attention
Probably.
and getting the right response.
So you got your teaching thing, and what else is important in your life? What else do you love to do?
I really love dogs.
Blade asks, would you dress up as Super Seducer for Halloween? It's like, nah, there are better ways to disappoint women than that.
And I love to travel.
Travel.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you travel a lot?
I've traveled quite a bit these last couple years.
Also, at a
especially.
practical level,
Nice.
I've
So
got a widow's
where's
peak, so
some
I really couldn't do my
places
hair
you've
like
been?
that.
In Europe, I've been in Prague, Russia, Ukraine, Poland, Lithuania, Latvia.
Nice. All of Eastern Europe and kind of
Yeah.
former USSR, yeah?
Yes.
Nice. And tell me, what's the absolute best place you've seen? Like, if people who have never travelled anywhere say, where's the best
Why
place
hasn't he
that I
tried
should
to have
see,
sex
or
with
is
her
it-
yet,
I
or
would
tell her he
actually
wants to
say
jizz on her face? Like, I'm just
that you should go to the
really,
United States and go see the
I'm
Grand
really upset
Canyon.
right now that this is taking so long
amazing.
for him to turn into a
I
douchebag.
can't do it justice with words, but it's wonderful.
Okay.
I would like to say that it's probably because he is trying to create a more real-world scenario where you're not allowed to be quite as sexual because it will get you thrown the fuck out of the coffee shop. But honestly, you know what? It's a little hard to say. I think it's more along the lines of this is an actress who would not put up with a lot of things and just said, you know what, no.
Yeah.
But then again, now that we've gotten to the choices, take a look at E.
Oh God.
I I am terrified where they're going to go with that one.
Yeah, see, that's one of those things where it's like I could see that being the right answer in this context of the sense of like, okay, like it's not about her, so if you're like broad enough about it, you could like say something that opens up a door to like maybe sexy talk or flirtation.
Yeah, but I
you
also
know that's not how this guy's going to take it.
Yeah, I expect these dumbasses are going to be like, "Oh man, the lady boys in Thailand."
Or I went to
Man.
I went to Pat Pong, and I saw this ping pong show.
Oh my god.
I think A is the right answer.
Well, Jade Monaco says, I have a feeling A is a double entendre.
Oh yeah.
Now, the other option that comes up is D, get her to elaborate on what she particularly liked. And
I feel like we've listened to her ramble on long enough for Game Guy. So I think it's our turn to talk, I think.
see, now here's the thing. In the real world, D is actually a good answer because you are getting her to talk about things that she enjoyed, and I hate to make it sound like a psychological trick, but there's a certain bit of psychological to this.
It's legitimate.
You're inspiring happy thoughts of a vacation she enjoyed, and she's associating those feelings with you.
Right, because that's what she's talking about.
So of the ones that we have here, A, B, and D are the most reasonable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like in a real scenario, if you've been to Grand Canyon, like share a story, because she has invited him to, like, she has asked him a question, he's responding, right? Yes. So, back and forth, share an experience you had. B, admit that you've never been but would like to go, and then talk about other places. It's like, I have, whatever, spin that into conversation. D, like those are all regular conversational.
Yeah, these are acting like an actual human. Which means they're all probably wrong.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Now that we've talked about how those are all actually just like normal conversational, like lines, it's like I can't tell which one might actually be right. Maybe D?
All right, we'll go with D.
Actually, I went there as well, and it was very beautiful. But tell me, what did you really like about it?
Well, I suppose the fact that it is beautiful, and I think I was there at a time in my life when it was really impactful. So I was the right age.
Suspense is killing me.
It was the right time, and so it was meaningful to me. But I'm excited to return. I think next summer I'll go back.
Oh yeah, very cool. I'd like to go back as well. So if I'm in America and I'm nearby the Grand Canyon, which I guess nothing's nearby, but if I also want to go,
you're in Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix, Arizona. Then
all the way to Tacoma.
Yeah, we could go.
Okay.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Good one. That's exactly right. When someone can talk about something passionately, you want to give them a chance to do that, not cut them off, talk about yourself, ask boring questions. Just give them a chance to open up. This is the perfect subject to connect on.
So, okay, there we go. That was correct.
That was like a legit answer.
That was a legit answer.
Huh, interesting.
I guess we are okay, here's the thing. Here we are only trying to get up to phone number.
Yeah.
So I can see this one lingering a lot longer on, like, just get it talking.
Being legitimately an adult human being who can function in public.
Rather than trying to escalate from stranger to boning in a single coffee shop conversation.
Right.
Which makes for some interesting combinations, because on the very first one, when you're talking to a woman who's going to meet her friends, you immediately have options like, all right, tell her you're an ass model and try to grab her ass. Which is, okay, that, boy, that escalated quickly. So the fact that things are somewhat restrained here is kind of amazing and out of character.
Yeah, that's That's pretty weird and funny.
But I mean, that, like, in the broad scope, that is really in character for PUAs as a whole. Like, how they can't, they're so juvenile that it's like every now and then they manage to treat something like adults. That it's like, hey, have a conversation, and then their very next video is go around downtown, like, joke trying to get girls to blow you on the street, and like one of them's bound to do it.
One of them's gonna say yeah.
Or
Yeah.
plant yourself right in front of her and hold your hand out like a cop and say, stop, otherwise she'll just walk around you.
Yeah.
Which is actually something this game tells you to do.
Wow.
Yeah, you literally plant yourself in front of her so she has to stop and talk to you. Now, the thing, a moment of it, again, almost getting clever, is at this point where now you've just reached a point where you don't have anything to say, and you have that moment of awkward silence, and what do you do?
I mean, hold eye contact. Stare that bitch down. Assert your dominance.
Yeah, I think it's A.
Okay.
Make her be the one to break.
So are you not gonna get any coffee?
Well, actually, I was over by the bar just before I saw you and had a coffee there. And I try not to drink too many. It actually has a strong effect on me, so I don't need that much energy. I've had enough. So
I like she actually calls him out for just sitting there and not getting any coffee. It's like, are you just going to be weird about this?
good.
Correct. Now, most guys can't do this, so it's very cool, makes you look very confident and strong when you can hold eye contact like this and get her to be the one that works to fill the silence.
Yeah, I was
something to say,
right.
because
Crystal's
she'll
gotten into
always
his
be you,
head.
right?
Yes.
Living in his head.
Tell me some things you like to do for fun.
Well, as long as I can remember, I've always loved playing
Look
volleyball.
out, world.
So that's
I've
something
mastered the
I try
pickup
to do
artist
whenever I can.
techniques.
Nice. I played it at school. They had
Yeah.
it in my school, but since then I didn't.
Blade
But
says,
they
break out your own
go
book
to
and have a
Barcelona
reading
and
battle,
they play
which
on
is
the beach.
the most
You play
metal
beach
thing
volleyball?
ever.
I will, yeah.
Love it.
In a pinch.
Love
Are you
it.
very good?
Yeah,
You can do that where you jump and smash
sure.
it down. Cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
it's harder on the beach because the nets are higher. But yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, it's a cool hobby. And anything else?
I
you
gotta
do?
tell you, after
Yeah,
having
I
all of these
probably-
ridiculous
the thing I do the most
options
is
where you
study
just say
Russian.
the most horribly,
hobby.
like, asinine, insane crap, this is seriously boring now.
Yeah, that's the other problem. This game is just boring.
Like, they're also, like, bad at acting and stuff, so that doesn't help,
Yeah, and the fact, like, this case, we've got her being good at acting, but she's being good at acting in the most mundane scene ever. And, God love her for earning that paycheck and committing, but it's just at a point of, why are we still doing this? Move it along, move it along.
Yeah.
One of the things that's also very subtle for this game is the constant referral back to Eastern Europe, which is part of LaRuina's favorite part of the world, because he is very much of the POA scene that thinks that women from Eastern Europe take better care of themselves and they're more likely to put up with a man's shit.
Love it. That's why he knows the name Dostoevsky
Yep. Specifically so he could hit on Russian women.
and knows Bulgakov.
Which is how you know that A is the wrong answer.
I think it's going to be B.
All right, we're going with B.
Yeah, this one's
Russian.
very
Yeah.
predictable
You know, I mean,
down the
loads of
line,
people that
like just
speak,
flattery
French,
and get her
English,
talking about herself.
obviously Spanish, German, but Russian is really rare.
The thing that's kind of amusing is that this one is being like mostly right and almost by
I don't
accident,
really have a
considering
good
how
reason. When I
awful the
was
rest
in
of it
high
is.
school, I had the opportunity to do a study
Again,
abroad,
I'm pretty
and
sure,
my
like,
choices were
Dan
France
hit the nail on the head,
and
being
Russia,
like,
and I didn't want to go to France.
they could only
so
film
to Russia,
realistic
and then I just never
scenarios, even the bad
I
ones,
actually
because
like that
this
you
chick
chose
was just
something
not going to have
tough
any of this
and
guy's
that you
idiocy.
stuck with it, and you know, like I said, most people take the easy options all the time. So it's interesting and cool that you did that.
Of course, it would help if you actually don't just sit there and muddle like you're in a
Nice
mumblecore
one. You know,
film.
when a girl has something that is a real
Yes.
talent, something that
might
she
help.
should be proud of, something she's worked hard on, that's the kind of thing you don't want to tease her too much on. So
Now, this is the best advice the game has to offer. Remember, don't tease her about the things that she actually likes and put a lot of effort into.
you know, say well done, say you respect that, and say why, and then go deeper into it, because you know you need to find out why.
But he
she would
doesn't
do
say it's
that,
off
why she
limits.
was
He just says
interested,
don't
what would make
tease
her
too
spend the
much.
time on it, and it's gonna
And
lead
leaves
to
that up to your
interesting
interpretation.
conversation, make
Which,
her
if
feel
you're
good as
playing
well.
this game to learn how to hit on women,
do you have an
no
accent?
one
Do you mind
should
if I
ever
ask
leave
where you're
anything
from?
up to your
England,
interpretation.
actually.
Whereabouts?
Was born in London, but actually, you know what? When I was
Jade Monaco says, seriously, the bored underwear women are starting to get to me. Yeah, well, that's the look you have when you realize you've sold your soul for, like, mid-level internet fame.
I lived in South London, and they have a strong accent there. It's like South London, and things like this. But because I travelled a lot and I moved, I've lost most of my accent. But do I still sound British to you?
Yes, very much.
Oh, that's good.
The very fact that she asks, wait, where are you from? And doesn't immediately go like, oh, you're from England is kind of the worst writing ever. Like, is there literally any accent that he sounds like he might otherwise plausibly be?
Who knows? What if this whole time he was like, I was going for a French accent, you guys?
I mean, I could maybe kind of see him going with, like, no, actually, I'm from South Africa, but that would actually
South
require...
Africa.
Yeah. I'm from Joburg. I think we have straight up killed Dan.
Sorry, I'm just a couple business emails came in, and I've been low key,
sure,
quietly.
Now,
just...
see, now you know. Now you know what it's like to be not the one who has to play the game. How's it feel? Really phenomenal cosmic power in your free living space. Yeah. Cool.
A is probably the right answer.
Oh, let's see.
I think we're now at the point of this conversation where they want it to get like overtly flirty.
All right, I like that logic. Let's go with this.
And I guess you like my British accent.
All right. Yep. I'm
Like,
down.
'cause this
I'm down with that
conversation
idea.
has been going on for a while, and I don't think they're going to go
I'm
past
happy I was
20
born in
questions.
England and not like German or something. Or...
Really?
Yeah, what do you think? German accent is kind of.
I think it
rough
sounds fun.
Because they give us the little,
Arnold
like,
Schwarzenegger?
there's the whole, like, readout tree at the end, the summary tree.
Yeah, but it's similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gotta fit.
Cool.
Yeah.
So meta. So
A little
meta.
bit too cocky, not the right time.
Yeah, the entire time she's giving the impression that she's interviewing for a job, too, which was part of what makes it
half-heart.
fascinating.
That's okay. I'm okay with
That's
a half
alright.
heart. We've been doing all right for
Oh,
ourselves,
hey,
Dan.
Now it's game time. Do we choose the... Do we make
It's-
the move now?
Ooh. Ooh.
I think it A, because A, like, this one has been actually fairly human,
Right.
and saying like, hey, I really like this. I'd like to see you again.
Yeah, this A is admittedly the most reasonable answer, which now brings up the question of what horrible thing he's going to say when he tells her this.
I mean, if it's
This
not
has been
A,
wonderful
then
speaking
it's
with
going to be
you,
like
so
C, and they're going to
maybe
string
I
this
could
out
get
like
your number
2-3 more
and
questions.
we
Yeah.
chat sometime.
But again, I think you're right
I'm
though
sorry,
that
it
like
really
it's
was
not
nice
going to go on
talking to you, but I
way
just,
too
I
much
don't think
longer.
so.
Why you don't like men, or you have a boyfriend?
Do it. Get the number.
Mr. Kitty, how are you doing?
Okay, too early still. All right.
Which means you're going to have to sit through more of this.
Yay!
So it's going to be ask what she does in her free time.
Thrilling.
Yeah,
You
that's...
picked a good one.
We got to talk about like hobbies.
Gotta pretend like we're still interested in her.
I just don't.
Although I do
Wow,
like he
so
immediately goes through, wait,
want to see
what,
it
you're a
again.
lesbian?
Okay, but it was nice, right? Nice
Yeah, it was alright.
conversation. Yeah, I liked it too. Yeah, well, I wasn't going to see you again as well. I just said it to be polite. But
Okay.
that's all right. Don't worry about that. Cool. See you then. Enjoy your book.
Thank
and
you.
Coffee and yeah.
This is a case of going for the number when you're not sure that she likes you. If you are having an open conversation, if you find
A very, very
things that you
authentic.
could do together, if she's smiling,
Very
then you
authentic.
can ask for the number. If you ask for it otherwise, you know, even if
Very
you're
authentic
persistent,
ending
it's
to that
likely
one.
to
Yeah,
fail.
the moment of her going like, yep, bye. Might as well have been straight from Tombstone. Well,
She
bye.
that actress has had to
What do you
say
like to
that
do
in her
I don't know, for
life
fun,
more
in the
than
evening?
once.
Because you study Russian and whatever, but do you drink,
Well,
dance,
bye.
anything else?
All of
Yeah,
the
it's gonna
above.
be C.
Yeah, at the same time.
When the mood strikes, yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I like going out sometimes, cocktail bars.
I think honestly part of what I
Do you
like
smoke
about this
shisha?
is she's so unreactive
hookah.
to even his
Yeah,
like
hookah
funny
you call it in
lines that you
America,
kind of
right? Yeah, I
feel
have from
endeared
time to
towards. Like,
time. I'm not
no,
a
we're all
fan,
suffering
but-
with you.
Girl,
I
I'm
quite like
on.
it. It's
Yeah,
actually
I am
unhealthy.
on
seems
team
unhealthy.
whatever your
Once a
name
month.
is.
But you
Yeah.
don't cough after it, so therefore.
Team Russian novel chick.
Yeah, so we need to do it sometime, like
Team
shisha,
Kafka.
Team
hookah,
Kafka, indeed.
cocktails, and then dancing.
Oh, maybe.
When you want to transition
The part that I kind of find odd about this is for a while in the pickup scene, because I used to be in the scene, the hookah bar was very much the go-to date option for a lot of people. And to this day, I'm still not entirely sure why that was the thing that everybody would bring up. And it got interesting because at the time in Austin, there was no indoor smoking at bars, and there had been a couple of hookah bars that all immediately had to close because of that.
to seeing someone again is very good to build up a picture of the kind of things that they do, the way they spend their time, because you might find a mutual connection. You find that you share some activities, or
Good
that you do
job.
some things that she wants to do, she
You
does some
picked the
things
right
that you'd like
one,
to try,
Dan.
and then it makes it very
You
easy
did a
to then go
good-
on and suggest the date from
Jade
there.
Monaco,
Take
what's the
number.
Stockholm Syndrome but for pity?
And do you have any other outdoor, like, active stuff you like to do? You
Yeah.
said volleyball, but
I,
anything else?
identifying
Yeah, I grew up
identifying
in the
with
country,
your
so I really enjoy a lot of
with your
nature activities. I like
your
hiking.
pickup
I
artist?
love fishing.
Identifying with your
Fishing.
hostage.
Fishing, yeah.
A girl who likes fishing.
It happens. Yeah,
Wow.
we exist.
That's interesting. I've never done fishing, but I love the outside as well. You know, walking in parks or hiking if you've got somewhere like that. How about bicycle?
I like that too.
Yeah. Well, that's something else we could do one day. Like take some bicycles, ride out somewhere.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Cool.
Do you like stuff? Maybe we could do stuff.
Yeah, he's going. We got it, man. You broached the idea about doing stuff. Run
Good job,
the cube routine, a
This-
psychological test.
Psychological test my ass. Neil Strauss came up with this.
Oh God, touch her face. Don't. A. It's A. Don't touch her. Do not just
And are you
touch
busy this week? What are your
strangers'
plans for the
faces.
next few days?
Please don't do it, guys.
My friend is having a party tomorrow, and
That
then
is
this
a
weekend
one-way
I'm gonna
trip to a
take
broken
train up
finger.
to
Seriously.
Vilnius.
Capellan Citizen, no, it's not like the
Yeah,
movie.
free
Oliver
time.
G's got it right. It's the
Maybe.
cube routine
Maybe on
from
Sunday.
They talk about it in the game.
I might be free on Sunday as well.
Okay.
Though that said, I would
That's exactly right.
Which one's the
immediately.
You
cube
ever texted a girl saying, "Hey, can you meet tomorrow?" She's like, "I'm not in town." You say, "Okay," and then text her in a few days. "Hey, can you meet tonight? Are you
I was gonna
around?"
say my
"Sorry, I've
my
already got
opinion of this
plans."
whole thing
Well,
would
to
be
avoid this
immediately
kind of dumb
improved
situation when you end up
several
not seeing her
levels
again, why not
if
find out
that
at the time of
option
meeting her
meant
what
trapping her
plans are for the
inside
coming week?
an
It's
extra
very
dimensional
easy to
tesseract
find
full
out
of
in
death
person
traps, and if
saves
she
the need
escapes,
for
she is the
sending loads
one.
of dumb text
Yes,
messages
that would have
get
been
you
an
rejected. So it's a
amazing
great
sudden
choice.
swerve. That would have been a Doki Doki Literature Club of dating sim seduction games.
Yeah, that's some that's some hateful boyfriend Doki Doki Literature Club action there.
And so we've gotten to the point of, all right, as we wait for the stream to catch up, we've gotten to the point of like, all right, we have many options. What would you actually suggest for getting the number?
Meeting for a drink, going hiking, take her number and say you'll be in touch.
Take her number and say you'll be in touch.
Or offer to bang in the restroom.
No, just.
It's gonna be A or D. Honestly, C is very much the hey, would you like to go on a murder date with me?
It's D. You want to have the ball in your court.
But at the same time, A creates like the pressure of a specific action.
No.
I'm trying to think, like, what's current PUA logic? Is current PUA logic retain all control or use social convenience, or like use
the pressure of a specific thing?
The pressure of a thing to, it's like, oh, like you give somebody plans, you basically give them plans and then they accept it, give you their number because their knee-jerk reaction, like the reflexive response is to agree and go along with it.
Well, you're actually pretty close to right. Making plans before you get the number means much more likely that they're not going to flake out on you, because presumably you're making plans that you both want to go do. So they're getting the number now makes it easier to get logistics. Whereas just taking the number means that when you get in touch with them, maybe they'll call you back, maybe they won't. So
yeah.
Gotcha.
But on the other hand, I could also see, by the logic of this game, could see, well, asking for a drink was too soon, but you take her number, and now that you're able to make it happen later. Or it could be a half answer, too.
Yeah.
Half-ass.
I think D is going to be the half answer.
Okay.
I think
then
A is going to be...
All right,
I think A is critical path.
Let's go with A.
We'll go with A.
So listen, we should meet one day, go for drinks. What do you think?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so there's my phone. Just put your...
Because this scenario in particular has valued confidence. And also behaving like a,
like a human person.
A human who has their stuff together.
Yeah.
And not just being like, oh yeah, like give me your number. Like that one in the context of this scenario is kind of flaky.
Yeah. I also like her reaction to all of that. Is like, yeah, okay, I guess.
I'll be in touch.
She's like, I can just not show up. This number doesn't have to work.
Cool.
I have Google Voice. I never have to pick it up.
Not the best way to go for a date because it's very general and you've had a lot of conversation, a lot of opportunity to find out things that you could do together that would be more interesting. So go to the old traditional
So we
date.
get the number.
It's
Oh,
not the
that's the
best option,
half
but
answer.
Not that bad, so it's still okay.
It's very general.
Was I right?
Oh.
Because it definitely wasn't asked to fuck in the bathroom.
I think it might have actually been hiking.
Which, yeah, she said she likes doing outdoorsy stuff, but let us be real. No woman is going to go with a guy who she met just randomly, who she doesn't know well, and out to the woods.
Nope.
It's like, hi, would you like to come with me out to Camp Crystal Lake?
Where there's probably not a cell phone signal.
C is probably critical path, but A is the outside the game correct answer.
What?
We're for the choice of how do you say goodbye? Do you say goodbye with a hug and go for the kiss? Do you just say bye and leave? Do you give her the long, lingering handshake? Or you say goodbye, be warm, and say how nice it was to meet her? Because this is a case of like, all right, thinking PUA logic. Which makes more sense?
Right.
And they're like a core tenet of PUA is escalate physicality, but this one has been restrained enough that it's like, okay, here's your opportunity to like escalate without scaring her off.
Yeah, Odin says Donald Trump handshake. Pump that arm like you're trying to tear it off like a Wookiee.
I mean, and at the same time, like there's that interpretive dimension to it. Also, I think it might actually be A, just because A is the answer is the best written answer. Like it has the most details.
We're back to metagaming.
We're back to
choose A.
metagaming. Yeah.
Meeting you, really cool. really, really happy to meet you.
Which we should have done on the last one with
Bye.
like hiking, because that was why we only got a half. Is that it's like it worked, but it was too general. It wasn't specific enough.
Is a little bit too
It
much.
could have still been D.
Being warm at this point, totally unnecessary. And if anything, makes you look like
It could have still been
and
like
might make her change her mind about seeing
get the
you
number
again.
and go.
Oh, that one was the half. Yeah. Okay. Long lingering handshake. Oh, this is a little bit too much.
Yeah, a little too warm and kind of makes you a wussy. That is the logic of this. Being warm, it makes you a wussy.
Like, the only reason it was too much is because they interpret it as like, oh man, it was so great to talk to you.
It will work if you pull it off with a bit of a smirk, playfulness.
all right.
So if it suits your character, this will work.
Sure, yeah, if that's
if
that's what you do.
If that's your idea of a like,
correct. It's important.
If being that guy is like, friendly and personable is the wussy answer, then sure, but let's be real, that was the human answer. But hey, we got Casanova, we got through it, we survived. We actually went a little bit long, but you know what? It was kind of awesome. Yeah, Ferg points out, literally an ideology where friendship is tragic. But anyway, so we went a bit longer than expected, but you know what? This was fun. Thanks very much for Dan with Foldable Ideas for joining me. Crystal, thank you also for suffering through this.
Yay! Had fun. Thanks for the invite.
And we will come back to this and play another round sometime soon. I'm not entirely sure when, because I'm still kind of at the tail end of having just moved studios. So keep an eye out on Twitter at Dr. NerdLove to find out. And for you guys, if folks want to follow you online, where can they find you?
Oh, geez, Dan, you got more than me, so
Don't find me
at it.
At Foldable Human on Twitter, probably the best place.
I'm at Clear as Crystal on Twitter. I don't have that many followers, so if you say something to me, I'll probably actually respond to you, unlike some of these internet famous people. So, take that as you will.
All right, thanks so much, everybody, for joining me. Thanks for everyone in the chat for being part of this, for watching it, and I will see you all later. Be sure to subscribe. You can keep up with the newest videos. You'll be alerted next time we're doing a stream, and I will see you guys next time with more about love, sex, and dating. Later.